For the video version of this podcast, visit the website egsproductions.com or everydaygaming.com. Thank you for the support, and now on with the show.
All right, put this on you.
Shit.
So this is just going to clip underneath your...
Woo! Why do I need the mic if I got one on my chest? Da 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 da. This is fancy. You just charge these, or?
Yeah.
How much does that cost?
Too much.
I don't want to wait
Testing.
for our lives to be over.
What the hell is that? The platinum?
Platinum.
God, that's nasty.
What?
It's Bud Light.
It's not Natty Daddy or anything.
King Cobra.
Dude, I was talking to my boss the other day, and I'm like, whatever happened to 40 ounces?
They went away for a good reason.
For a good reason.
They all taste nasty.
No more brown bagging it.
Mike.
Yes.
Back in Hollywood.
Hollywood.
We are back in Hollywood, and
Where dreams are made.
dreams are made. You can have plenty of ambitions and careers until you finally get out to Hollywood and realize you're going to become one of the homeless. You're going to be one of these statistics living on the streets.
Not here.
I do love your fire that you have right now. Your burning fireplace with crackling noise.
Yeah.
So we're trying something a little bit different right now. I have an old mixing board, and I mean it's a very, very old mixing board. Actually, hold on. Let me try one thing. Getting the audio levels and everything figured out. Old mixing board. We are using the microphones like how we normally would be, but now we are doing it video. So I'm trying this out.
Video. And we got the police body cams on us.
They're not body cams. They're just little microphones. But how this is supposed to work now, hopefully, if everything goes well, the way that I can pull the audio from the different sources, we should be able to have more people and a lot less cords. So that's my end goal, to where the transmitter right now is be able to pick up our two mics, and I can always get another transmitter with another two mics, and then I can put all the audio together and not have these damn things in front of our face, because we both know that when you're doing the audio recording, you need to speak into the microphone here, and sometimes you like to, everybody is a little bit different when it comes to using a microphone, but you can look away and it could create more hours in the editing booth. So I'm trying to eliminate that, or at least a little bit.
Efficiency.
Yeah, I'm trying to be efficient with it, and it does help doing this kind of stuff, and we will see how the audio comes out. So if it is shitty across the board, this one will never be released. But if it is...
Look at all the wires on my floor right now.
I know, it's nasty, and that's what I want to get away from. I want to get away from all of that crap, because we honestly don't need all of that, the wiring, and I can't stand it. And a very wireless-esque world that we live in, and everything is Bluetooth, wireless, and I want to get more to it, but getting more to that also costs a little bit of money as well. So with that costing extra money, I'm willing to make that sacrifice, work for 2 years, a lot of overtime just to buy two fancy microphones without any kind of cords. So
No,
you don't see how it works.
It's a privilege to have this thing on my chest.
Don't worry, I'm sure it's
Can you hear me?
not too many cancer cells or signals through your body, any worse than what your cell phone does. But happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
You turned the big number 35.
21, actually.
Yeah, 21. Yeah, it's been 21.
I waited
for
at the
how
bar
many years?
last night, and then midnight I was able to drink.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, because you've never tasted alcohol before. So what have you done for your birthday?
What did I do? I went out to Clarkston. I went out and renewed my tags. and at the local Kroger.
You went out, you spent money.
Yeah.
And you have to, right? If you want to drive a car, you have to go and pay for your tags.
So I wanted to do that so I don't get pulled over. But yeah, I did that. You came over, gave me a call. Apparently my phone's not working.
No.
You're the only person that's not able to call me, apparently. And I saw your voicemail and your text, and we went out to get some brew and barbecue.
The Battle Alley, right?
Battle Alley.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was hopping today. A lot of people, a lot of kids, a lot of...
A lot of kids at a brewery.
Yeah. There was a rude guy there. I'm not going to talk too much on that. I wish I would have heard the comment that he made, called you redhead or ginger.
Red hair.
Yeah, red hair. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they were trying to get our attention, but they were like, hey, we got a big party coming here. And you guys move another table. Absolutely. That's all you had to say. Me and you are polite people. Be more than happy. I was like, you know what? Thinking about that anyway. But he was like, hey, red hair. And I was like, throw me off.
Yes, asshole.
But the other guy was very polite. The other guy in the corner, to my right by the window. And I was like, yeah, I'll move. I won't say anything. But you know what? Fuck that other guy.
Yeah, it was nice. They wanted to buy us another round of beers.
Yeah, and they were like, hey, we'll pay for your drinks. Steve already did pay for my drinks, so.
Yeah, happy birthday to you. That's how you're getting for me.
Thank you for buying my meal and my beers.
Yep, I was going to buy you another headset, but I figured it was just going to be put in the corner with the other one after it quits working.
There it is.
Because you probably have not bought another headset yet, have you?
Not yet.
Jeez.
My other one was the actual Xbox headset that was actually wireless, completely wireless. I think you have one or no?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so it was really nice, but it got destroyed during moving. I think I stepped on it at one point, and when I tried to put it on, it just fell apart. But
yeah, well, what the hell happened to that one?
Dude, there's nothing wrong with it. I just plug it in. It doesn't work.
I'll take a look at it and make sure you're plugging into the right port, the one and only
The one and only port. That's the aux port. On my, maybe it's my controller. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we also have these. We're not able to talk or anything through them. They don't have pull-down microphones for any kind of input, but at least we can still see if there's some kind of sound or something that comes through it. Yeah, it could be just the controller, right? But it's really saddening to have, basically, it's a brand new headset, and it doesn't even fucking work. And we found out, oh my God, I think we only tried twice to try to play games together, and both times it was nothing but an issue. And then it came to the point of us like doing the old days back in the Xbox and PlayStation days where you're calling a buddy and you're talking and playing the same game, although you're online at the same time. But yeah, that gets a little bit annoying.
Get them on speakerphone.
yeah, speakerphone. Then you hear the background music and sounds from the TV, and that's why you have one of those headsets. But yeah, the headset always doesn't work. I've never had issues with them, at least that model, because I do have the same wired model. And then I went through and got the wireless one, which was fantastic. And even with that, I'm still having some issues, but I'm also playing on the Xbox One because when I stream, I cannot stream everything on the integrated system through the capture device with the Xbox X, the Series X. It has to be with the old Xbox One from 2014. So the performance is fucking horrible.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm playing Dead Island 2 right now, and the load times, I don't know. Sometimes it could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes that I'm waiting just to get into the game. And don't get me wrong, when you get into the game and you're playing the level, it's fine because you can do a lot, just like in Grand Theft Auto, right? Sky mode may take forever to get in.
Sky mode.
I wish they would have a mini game in Sky mode so you wouldn't be so fucking bored.
It's a phrase that we coined, how many years ago? Sky mode.
Probably when the game first came out, because I know it was very broken when it first came out, and it's
you guys
still
in?
somewhat
No,
broken.
I'm in Sky mode.
In Sky mode, or one person gets in and then we all finally get in, and then it disconnects us, and then we all have to go to different lobbies, and we're lobby hopping, and we're waiting for everybody
We're
else
all
to
in
jump
different
out.
universes.
Yeah. It's annoying, and it's 2024. We shouldn't have those problems, right? We shouldn't, but we still do. For video games, though, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a little bit of Fallout 4 after the show. They actually did an update with it. as far as next gen, I don't know the exact details, but I started jumping back into Fallout 4, played Ghost Toshiba, and really that's pretty much it. And watching Fallout. So
That game, I'm sure, I haven't seen any kind of statistics on it, but I'm sure that game, every Fallout game, or at least New Vegas 4 and 76, have probably seen a huge bump in numbers.
yeah, as far as Steam, I don't have the exact numbers on me, but yeah, everybody's playing Fallout again after the show. So that's what I've been doing lately. So it's been a while, and I was like, I want to jump back into it. I've heard about perks that I didn't know about, like the Mysterious Stranger perk, to where you get this perk and you do the VATS, and then, you know, it's all at random, but he'll show up out of nowhere and just one shot, like a fucking Deathclaw or something like that. And extremely helpful. So I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I explored different options I'd never done before. I got like the Special Forces power armor. I think it's like XO2, something like that. So I went and did that mission and looked it up online, how to do it. So I did that, which is really cool. So I've been doing a lot of new things that I never did, and kind of like Easter eggs, kind of different other things. Because right after the Fallout show came out, I was seeing a bunch of videos on like TikTok, like, hey, you just started, stop here. It's going to have all the gear you need. You stop in this house, it's going to have this for you. You could get the T60 armor before you go to the Brotherhood and all that shit. So it's the stuff that I didn't know about, and it didn't come to, I guess, come to light until after the show, and everybody started posting videos about it. So I was like, oh, I got to get back into it. So
How many Fallout games have you played?
played Fallout 3 for New Vegas. I think that's it. And then obviously I jumped on and dabbled with Fallout Shelter on my phone.
Oh my God. Don't get me started. I just picked that game back up last night.
Did you?
I just found out that a lot of people that I hang out with on a daily basis, because I have no other choice to, they play a lot of Fallout Shelter. And it's people that I would never have think that would get into video games. They're not gamers, but they watch the show. And then they don't have an Xbox, they don't have a PlayStation or a PC, but they do all have a mobile phone, and that's when they play Fallout Shelter.
Yeah.
And seeing some of their shelters, yes, they dump a lot of time into that game. And that's a very fun game to play, but I'm telling you right now, for someone like me, I don't play games every single day, at least like I used to. So if a game like Fallout Shelter is constantly going, no matter what. So you can send people out, your villagers or your, I don't want to call them villagers. Who are they? Come on, no, what's the actual term for it?
The fucking term is...
Dwellers.
Dwellers, yes.
Yeah, so you can go ahead and you can send your dwellers out from the vault to go get stuff, but then you also have to log back into the game, and you have to make sure that they have enough stim packs before you call them in, or they'll die. You need to make sure that you log back into the game just to check on your base, because you will have a Deathclaw or other raiders, or just bugs that will come out of every orifice and
just come out of the floor.
yeah, they just start attacking and raining havoc on your shelter, your vault, and it is so frustrating when you put so many hours into your vault to build it up. It could be gone within a few days.
Yeah, and you gotta actually give them weapons and supplies in order to protect themselves. So, and also when you build a new facility, or if you decide to upgrade, it takes a while. So you're like, all right, I'm gonna upgrade this. Says this many hours. All right, put my phone away, go in, go back. I don't know. I haven't picked it back up. It's something I want to do though.
Did you ever play any Fallout 76?
No, I have not.
Well, you're not really missing a whole lot. I thought it would have been a lot better, and don't get me wrong, it's still a good premise for the game of having it online and having multiple people from different vaults. So that is the cool thing about it. However, they can still fuck with you, and yes, it is a lot more open world. I haven't picked any of the Fallout games back up besides Fallout Shelter most recently since the show came out. And you and I both sat down and watched the show. I'm sure when Chris comes out here shortly, we will talk more extensive about the show and everything that we want to depict on it. I thought the show was very good.
It was very good.
There's not many opportunities, I will say this, that I really sit down and plant my ass on the couch to watch something. We were talking there at Battle Alley about, what else are you watching? I'm not really watching anything else.
Yeah.
I wanted to pick back up on Halo just because, I watched everything with Fallout and like, man, this is great adaptation for a video game. And what I want to do is get that feeling out of Halo. But even after the first episode of Fallout and the first episode of Halo Season 1, I didn't really have that hook. And I know a lot of it is me seeing Master Chief's face, and I'll probably never get over that shit. So at some point, I do want to pick it back up. But I think Fallout was such a good rendition of the video game adaptation that when Lucy, the main character, leaves the vault for the first time, you honestly get that feel like how you did in the video game. In every single Fallout video game, that it's like a blinding light and you don't know really what to expect as soon as you go out there, and it's just a wasteland. You're not seeing much, and it's a beautiful show. I think it did really good with the writing. I think it was there on the humor points, and let's go ahead and talk about that. 8 episodes, right?
Yeah, 8 episodes. I think it premiered on a Thursday, right? And I watched the first 3 episodes. The first episode is over an hour long. It did not feel like that. So, I mean, I think they did very good with portraying Lucy as a 1950s character. She's very corny, says some weird things, like
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie, which was the fucking title of the first episode. And it was pretty much this raider that fucking snuck into their vault and she was supposed to get married to. I don't know, spoiler alerts.
Yeah,
but,
okay. We're going to talk about the show Fallout. It's been out for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And if you guys have not seen it, probably by now you've already turned it off. But at least for this next portion of the podcast, if you have not seen it, then don't shut off the entire podcast.
I don't mean to.
Just go ahead and fast forward, because I do want to talk about not every single individual episode. I think we will get more of a breakdown when Chris does come out, because it will be a long-winded conversation about
Chris will go on and on and on.
Right. But at least I do want to talk about some of the main points.
You first off, she, it was kind of a weird setup. So, they made it seem like she was fooling around with her cousin, to get experience as far as sexual things, which is weird. Did you see that?
No. Fooling around with her cousin.
Or whatever, family member. I don't know. Because her cousin obviously was in love with her before, the first episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're talking about the guy that eventually married the blonde. I don't want to say married, but who is now with the blonde that wears an eye patch, who is now going to be the overseer for Vault 32.
Yes, so it was kind of fucked up that. And then, so they raided Vault, what was it, 33 or 32? I forget whatever the vaults are. And the raiders took over, impersonated the Vault dwellers, and were like, hey, yeah, we got someone that we're able to have you marry instead, and we'll give you these, seeds or something like that, right? Was that it? I don't know.
It was basically a trade-off.
Yeah, trade-off. Hey, you give us this, we'll give you this. So it's kind of like, hey, an arranged marriage. They never met each other. It was like a blind date marriage. So turns out, yeah, that was, I don't know. It was just really fucking weird, the first episode. Guy gets naked, and they're about to do it, and she goes, okie dokie, and I'm like, this is so fucking weird. I was like, the fuck, man?
Yeah, so there is one of those hot and steamy scenes on the very first episode. You did make
I don't mean to make it weird, but I was like, this show made it weird.
You did make a good point, though. The very first episode was the longest episode of the series, and it seems like the longer the episodes went on, the shorter it got, which was a bummer.
Yeah.
But yes, it was over an hour, and it did not seem like it was an hour long.
And it was pretty brutal at the end, obviously. They find out they're raiders. Whatever. And then, she leaves to go because they capture the dad, Hank, or whatever. And at the end, you got to figure it out for yourself. Even other people came up to me and be like, did you know this person was this person? Did you know this? What's his name? Walton Goggins. I just know him from Vice Principals and like the Righteous Gemstones. The guy who plays the ghoul.
Yeah, I know him from The Shield.
Okay. So we all know him from different things. I know
He's been around the industry for at least a couple years.
Justified.
Now.
I mean, this guy fucking just stole the fucking show, right? He played. What am I trying to say? I mean, he played like. He had such a great like part in Fallout to where he was the poster boy for Vault-Tec. He was a lead actor, and like in the beginning, it shows him he's performing at a kid's birthday party. So it was just like you get so much from this guy, and then you show like past, before the bombs dropped, like his wife works for Vault-Tec, and then he becomes the spokesperson for Vault-Tec, and he plays it like he's getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars, and he does such a great job. As the ghoul, as this guy, and I don't know, he's one of my favorite actors right now. So, I mean, I'm sure everybody's saying that right now, but yeah, it's just crazy how good it is.
It's nice that they are in for a season 2.
Yeah.
We don't have very many details besides that. Before we get to the end of the show, let's go ahead and we'll keep on talking about the show as a whole. So you did mention a lot, and not all of that was covered in the first episode because we didn't find out his extensive role, and basically on how I'm seeing it, when he initially gave him that thumbs up, he became like basically the Vault Boy, because when his character found out what Vault-Tec's main ideas were to basically have all these vaults set up and each vault had their own separate experiment, but it's not really, in this case, China that is going to be sending the nukes over. It's actually Vault-Tec being in charge of that. When he found out, we're still trying to figure out if he was in a vault, if his wife was in a vault, if his daughter was in a vault.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that his daughter, or at least the daughter and the wife, somehow, somewhere, they're going to come into season 2, or else they're going to have some tie-in to where they're the ones that... I think like his wife was one of the ones that initially gave the order to go ahead and have the nukes happen. But I think that the daughter is going to have some kind of enrollment into the next season or the next couple seasons, however long it's going to go, to find out that hopefully, yes, when the character, the ghoul, finally meets up with whomever in New Vegas, because that's basically where they're going to be going.
They're going to be going. Yeah.
They're looking for Lucy's dad, Hank, thank you. When they're looking for Hank, I think that the ghoul is going to run across this girl, and it's going to end up being his daughter. I think that the daughter is going to have some kind of tie-in to where she's big with Vault-Tec, and they're going to be enemies at some point. And maybe the daughter is going to off the ghoul. I don't know.
I hope not.
Really thinking...
I want to keep him in there.
Yeah, exactly. I want to keep him in there because the characters that they currently have in the show...
I mean, the guy, what's his name? Maximus?
Maximus.
He sucks so fucking bad.
Thank you. I'm not saying that I hate him as an actor. I don't like his character that he's portraying just because of how weak he was throughout the entire season, and he just seemed like really a pushover. But I think also at the end of the season, we're starting to now see that he's no longer a pushover. He killed off like one of the main New California, or New Republic California, however you want to say it, one of the main leaders of that. He now has the title holder of I killed this person, and now possibly he's going to be one of the main people in charge of the Brotherhood. So I can see him now having that relationship with Lucy of like, yes, Lucy and Maximus wanted to get it on one of the episodes, and Maximus turned it down, and she was like, oh, okie dokie, just...
It was so fucking weird, dude. That's what I'm saying. And she's like, hey, do you want to have sex? And he's like,
right.
Wait, does that mean like when my...
with my cock?
With my cock, and then it explodes? Like, I'm like,
yeah,
something
like
that?
Popping a pimple or something.
Yeah, something like that. It was so fucking weird.
Yeah, so the dialogue is funny when it comes to that kind of stuff.
I'm like, Lucy, you fucking slut.
But
no, she's so great as an actor just because she portrayed like the ideal, like, Fallout character. That's that's all she knew was like, oh, I need to go and breed, so we can continue on the human species. I get that, but it was just so weird to me on how they did that.
Yeah, and how she presented it to him.
Yeah, it was like, you want the guy's like, no, does that mean and I'm like, oh my God.
So I think coming up into season 2 also, Lucy and Maximus again are going to meet, but they're going to have to make a decision on, are they going to butt heads or are they going to have to work together? I knew going through the first season that all three of the main characters, the Ghoul, Lucy, and Maximus, were going to be in the same room. And I kind of figured it was going to be happening with Hank at some point. So yes, all four were in that same area at the very end. And seeing them roll off into what it looks like the casino or Fallout New Vegas.
It is New Vegas, definitely New Vegas. It looks like the Strip.
Yes.
Just New Vegas. So
it's going to be a really good second season. The very first episode, I was watching it with the wife, and we were both on the same page on why did they come from, why did they come from Vault 32? So then again, what happened? But then also, why did they take Hank to begin with? I thought Hank had something to do with it.
He does have something to do with it.
Correct, but we didn't know any of this until later on in the season.
You're talking about, the first time you saw the first episode.
Exactly, yeah. And then my wife, she said that Lucy's mom has something to do with it too. So we were both on it at that same level because, yes, at the end of the season, we found out that Hank definitely had something to do with it. And there was a lot of dirty laundry that was aired. And we did see, finally, Lucy's mom there at the dinner table.
Did you think that was Lucy's mom when you first saw her?
Yes.
I'm the only one that didn't.
I thought it was Lucy's mom. The main reason on why I thought it was Lucy's mom is because Hank was right there in the cage. And I think that the main lady wanted Hank to see what he has done to his wife.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Lucy's mom's backstory is, but we do know enough that she went out into the wasteland at some point because her Pip-Boy was used to access Vault 32, and that's why Vault 32 got raided initially. Yeah. That's how they were able to get in there. So you have a lot of unanswered questions, and then over the course of the season, you do have some of the answers, but I think they did it very well, like when it came to the shops and looking at all the memorabilia. And just like when they're walking through the vaults, you play the video game and it's spot on. There's a part where this gentleman comes out and he's got this thing that he's, I think it was on his left side, but he's holding it. It was like their water treatment relay or their water treatment piece.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what game it was from. I want to say that was from Fallout 3, that you had to leave your shelter to go find one because that broke in the vault. So it's cool to see a lot of those things in there. I don't know if Lucy will ever make it back to their vault with that water treatment facility, and I'll be curious to see on what's going to happen in season 2 with Vault 32 being repopulated with the people from 33, Vault 33 currently, but then also what happens to Lucy's brother in Vault 31. Because he got locked into Vault 31 and had...
With the little brain guy.
Yes.
You know who that brain guy was, right?
Bud?
Yeah,
Yes.
Bud, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So, yeah, he's hanging out with,
And he's like,
Bud.
hang on, I got to stick you with this. This is funny to watch. He's like, dog, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's had a lot of conversations with himself, as I think one would, because, he spent so many years by himself.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, God, I got to do this. I got to do this to you. And the guy's like, no, I'm going to move over here. I'm going to move over here. And I was like, I don't know. That's how I took it. I just thought that was hilarious.
So I think Lucy's brother has no other choice but to go into a cryotube because it's either that or he's going to die right there.
Yeah.
There's no other two ways around that one. Right?
That was the cryo facility
Correct.
from Fallout, kind of like Fallout 4. So, yep.
And it's very strange on how they tied in the three vaults together. For the people out there that don't play Fallout and you're listening to this for the first time, long story short, Vault-Tec had this crazy idea to have a bunch of separate vaults, and all these separate vaults had their own little experiments, and it was basically to test humanity. Some vaults were filled with parents and children, and they ended up killing off. This was in Fallout 4 in the elementary school. Underneath is a vault. And I remember playing Fallout 4 and getting in there and finding the backstory about that. And I want to say it was Vault 94. Correct me if I'm wrong, people out there. I know you will. But anyway, they brought everybody in when the bomb came off, and then they offed all the parents. And they basically bred the kids all the way through. And then if the kids were smart, great, they went on and had jobs. And if they're not smart, they killed them.
Lord of the Flies.
Really, really weird experiments that went on. Some vaults, they were fine. They were not touched. They basically imploded within themselves. Other vaults, they would purposely not shut the door, so it would leak in radiation very slowly to slowly affect people. And it's just very weird. But I've always asked the question, okay, so we've had all these experiments going in all these different vaults. Is there an overseer over everybody? Is that the ghoul's wife or ex-wife that we finally find out? Is she still in control of all those experiments? Is she like getting all the reports in from everybody, like how Vault 33 Vault 33 sent something to Vault 31, and that's when the little brother went over there and seen Rolling Bud, stuck there, and that all came out. But it looks like 32 everybody ended up just killing each other. They took over the overseer, and then it was just mass fucking chaos. And how was 33 able to stay as long as they have and just live in this environment? I think what was really cool is how they had the projection screen system. Of course, they had all their crops and made it look like it was this huge piece of land, but really it's an iron shelter, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine living in one of those? Never seeing daylight?
Never. And I don't know. Yeah, it's just like, they were born into it. They're like, hey guys, after 200 years, we're projected that the radiation should be all gone so we could go up to the surface so, our children's children could live a free life. And I'm like, holy shit. So I was like, that's pretty bad. I don't know. Yeah, but I really do like how they did project that. They had all the crops, had the big screen up there, made it look like something else. It was just,
We do know about the ghoul, and like you said, it's your favorite character.
Yeah.
That he did serve for Vault-Tec, or at least he did serve in some type of service that they have, and he did wear power armor. And the power armor that he had on, there's different variations throughout the course of the entire video game lore. But with this stuff in particular, he knew all the problems and issues with it.
Yep.
And you do find that out too in also the season. They talk about in one of the episodes about there being that weak spot basically just underneath the chest on the one armor. That's how the ghoul was able to kill off all those people in the power armor.
Yeah.
So it's very cool to see that. It's cool to see Maximus in the power armor. It's cool to see the power armor being used when they were first having the people in the mech suits and the power armor walking to them. I thought the coolest thing was like seeing how heavy and knowing how heavy they are, because they need some kind of a fusion core or something to run it. Mm-hmm. That they were having sparks, coming off of the bottoms of the boots just because it's so heavy and you're gonna have metal scrape. And it's very cool to see on how powerful it is and how worthless it is without that juice for it.
The fusion core.
Yeah, because without it, you can't do anything. And they're trying to get infinite power. And that was the entire episode of trying to find this person.
Was that like the cold fusion thing?
Yes, that is cold fusion. Having the infinite amount of power, so they're able to get it to the New Republic of California. And we're going to see how that powers everything and how all that works out. Now, knowing that the Brotherhood is going to be there, that's going to be interesting to see if the Brotherhood does take over and try to, I don't want to say communize it, but put in some kind of government into everybody that's already lived there. Because obviously they got the resources of the military, so they have ways to take over that entire thing. How that's going to roll in with New Vegas, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, the two landmarks are very close with each other when you're looking on the map, so they're not terribly far away. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of questions that I have. So the ghoul, he's got to take something in order to still be a functioning ghoul and not
Yeah,
turn
without
100%.
dying. Yeah, without turning 100%. I
ever-
didn't know that was a thing until I watched the show.
Exactly. So that was one of my things is I don't remember seeing something like that in the video game. Yes, you did have ghouls and they were able to talk and still had every attribute of what a human would, but they just look all deformed and typically never had a nose because it's just cartilage. But you never seen in the video game them taking something or having to take something just to stay in that current form. And then those vials, I mean, you would have to take a lot of vials because he's been alive for, I think it was over 200 years.
200 years, yeah.
Yeah, 2 fucking centuries. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Brings it up, the point, the person of the main lady that came over, God, I'm drawing a blank on her name. But she ended up coming over from Vault 32 to 33, and she was like one of the main providers.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't even remember her name either.
But you know who I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, so she looks the exact same from there, from when they did all the flashbacks.
She got frozen.
She would have to have.
Yeah.
She would have to have, or she's drinking some kind of Charlie Sheen tiger blood fountain of youth to where
Charlie Sheen tiger blood.
she never ages. So at some point she
She looked the same from
Right.
when she was in that board meeting to where, she was there with the mom and Hank, And I was like, who was this lady? And I'm talking to like all my other, people that work for me. And I'm like, who? Because they're all talking to me. We're all big fans of Fallout. And I was like, what'd she do? And then they had to explain it to me. Maybe I was too tired. I was sleeping, but I don't know. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so she was alive and well and looks the exact same hundreds of years later. So I'm thinking at some point, it's either she's took a serum to where she would never age, or yes, she would have had to have been frozen at some point in time for a very long period of time to looks like that she never fucking aged. Mm-hmm. Now, there is some clear indicators on some people who have gotten out at some point who have aged, and that one person would have to be Betty. Because during the flashbacks, when, we'll just call him the ghoul, when he was sitting there and he had his earpiece in and he's listening to everything as they're unfolding Voltec's plan for everything, right? Mm-hmm. The one secretary, the one person that said, this person is here to meet you, that was Betty, a much younger version of Betty. So at some point, yes, she was frozen there or cryogenically frozen in Vault 31. Yep. Finally made her way on over to 33 to be the overseer, and then Hank took over to be the overseer. So there's a lot of connecting the dots throughout the course of the season. I think that's a very cool thing, too, is that they didn't throw everything out there. They left a lot that still has to be answered. And I'm really looking forward to a season 2.
Yes.
And it's amazing.
They definitely left it on a cliffhanger
They did.
season 2.
I've been wearing, I don't know where I put it. Oh, I put my Fallout
you got your
hoodie.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I was like, is he in a costume? Like, what the fuck are you doing? No, it's just a Fallout Vault 101 hoodie, right?
Right, 101. And
or 111. I don't know.
Nope, it's 101. So that's
okay.
from Fallout 3. But it's funny that now when I would wear that for the past couple of years, unless they were a hardcore gamer, they would maybe say something and comment about it. And if they're a gamer, then they would realize that no, it's not 111, which would take place in Fallout 4. It's from Fallout 3, which is 101. But now that the show's come out, there's a lot of people that would give compliments or it's like, oh, hey, man, that's from Fallout. I love that show. And it's like, yeah, it's a great show. You ever play the video games? No, I don't play video games. That's for lazy people. It's like, oh, okay, but you sat there for over 8 hours to watch a fucking
not
show.
even fucking moving your fingers, just watching the show.
So whatever it is, I'm not hating on the people, but it's amazing that when you get something that was a video game and now you put it into the masses to where everybody can watch it, it's great. But they did a very good job on it to where everybody who has watched it, they seem like they love it. I haven't heard a lot of hate besides unanswered questions or
I've only
different
heard
ways.
hate on internet. Person to person, everybody's like, it's a perfect show.
So
Especially if people played the game. Because these critics on Angry Joe, everybody else, I don't understand why they're giving this shit such a fucking bad review. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. But it's like, yeah, Maximus sucked. I didn't like him as a, actor as well. I mean, you had other bad actors, but it's like, dude, they portrayed it so well that it's insane. And the reason you're hating on it, I don't understand, especially for like these online gamers that are giving it such bad reviews. I just don't get it. Like everybody that I talk to, me and you, everybody else I talk to about the fucking show is like, dude, that fucking show was top notch. Like, and like they're giving it bad reviews. I'm like, only online. It's like, but if I talk to me, you, anybody else, they're like, dude, that was a fucking great show. You watch it over and over and over again, or if you watch it again, you're gonna see stuff that you missed, and it's so great to see that because Fallout has been a series for how many years?
A long time. It goes back. God, I want to say it was on PC or the Mac or something, but it was a computer-based game to where you had kind of like a bird's eye view. It wasn't directly over, but it was a little bit extended out, kind of like the old Command and Conquer how it was. But you had one screen, you had a character, and you had to click nowhere to go. Then you had really shitty animations.
Yeah, because it was like because it was on like PC. It was like the first RPG. You had to do.
So the first one was like that. The second one was like that too. Got a lot better. But then the third one was like the major fucking breakout.
That's when Bethesda picked it up. Yeah. And that was when they went all, Morrowind, Skyrim, fucking Oblivion on that shit. So, and it has the opposite effect for me because I think this show was so great. And then The Last of Us, I mean, I see everybody online just praising this, like, oh, Emmys, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I mean, if you're a Last of Us person, like me, the other video game adaptation, I'm like, definitely not as good as the video game. You had more emotion in the video game. You had better acting, I feel like, in the video game. Besides Pedro Pascal, I love Pedro Pascal, but...
No, you just got a hard on for that guy.
Dude, that guy's awesome. No homo, but it's like... everybody... When I saw, like, the DLC episode, I'm like, dude, this is not good. That one girl who plays opposite of Ellie, and I'm like, she's not a good actor. Oh, my God. And after I watched the show, and I'm like, this shit's going to get shit reviews. It was like 10 out of 10s, 10 out of 10s. I'm like, what am I missing here? What the fuck am I... Is it just the wokeness? I don't know. It's like, yeah, I don't know. And plus you had the whole episode with, oh God, I forgot their names. Should I say it? The gay couple. Okay. The guy, the survivalist, and then he saves the other guy, and they become a couple, and then it shows, there's an entire episode, hour long, probably longer, of them just living together in The Last of Us, and it's like, I didn't like that. I really didn't. And it's not because I'm not, I don't think it's wrong. I mean, I just don't know. It's just,
what are your views on same-sex marriage?
Well, yeah, exactly. No, I don't think that's wrong at all. But it's like, dude, it's like this isn't the video game. You guys aren't going into further details of the video game that are very more important. And like, I played it when it was PS3, and they had a lot more. It was a lot more, less woke. It was more like, I don't know. I can't really say it, but it was like, oh, in the actual video game, it showed like Ellie about to be raped by the cannibal Jesus cult. You know what I'm saying? Or cannibal cult, whatever it is. And then they remastered it, took that out, and then they had other things in the game at PS3 that they took out. And it was like, dude, like, this shit was more real. And then they did the show, and I was like, I didn't think it was good, but I was like, I watched the Fallout show. What I'm trying to say is, yeah, I didn't think the Fallout show was good. All the critics said it was fucking amazing. All the critics are saying the Fallout show is shit. I think it's amazing. I just don't know where the disconnect is.
I played the Last of Us video game. I have not watched the show.
No,
I have played the Fallout video game. I have watched the show. Mm-hmm. I have played the Halo video games. I have watched one episode of the show. Mm-hmm. I know what you're feeling about it. There's a lot of nostalgia that I think the Halo franchise did much better versus the show. And yes,
Yeah, absolutely.
I've only seen the first episode. So
The story of the Halo franchise, I mean, was a lot better. Once they introduced, like, you know, I forgot her fucking name. But, you know, the one chick that's supposed to be the love interest with Master Chief. That's when it all lost me. And then, yeah, it was just... Video games are just, I don't know. They're trying to go a different way as far as the shows. And I get that. They don't want it to be the same thing. But I was like, nah. I don't know.
After watching the Halo one, I still didn't have hope of having good video game adaptations going to a streaming service or a TV show or a movie. But after Fallout, I think they did a fantastic job. I thought that they meshed up with the game very well. Yes, everything with the show does not have everything to do with a video game. So it's not like Vault 31, 32, or 33. I don't even think we're ever talked about in the video games anywhere, to my knowledge. I think that this is their own vision on what these 3 vaults would be throughout the entire universe of it.
Yeah.
I think there's got to be over, let's say, 120 vaults throughout the entire lore of Fallout. So there's a lot of untold stories, and they can really stretch out this show and really do their own thing for a long, long time. How long are they going to have the fan interest? Well, that's when you start to have these characters that make it so interesting. But how long can we follow the same 3 main characters from season 1 into the next upcoming seasons before it just gets a little boring? So there's going to have to be an end game at some point, and I'm really sad that there is going to be an end game at some point. But after watching the first season of Fallout, I would still love to see a BioShock show.
BioShock show would be good.
And I know that they can take it at a couple different angles, I believe, on the entire backstory of Andrew Ryan, and have everything underwater will be very cool. Getting to that point of why it's all underwater, and then getting to the point of why it was ever up in the sky so high up would be very interesting and confusing. But I think also something like that, you would have to cater and follow more to the video game, because it's not small, it's very large. But still, you're going to have to follow it very well, which Fallout, they can follow certain things to where they're going to have a vault, they're going to have a wasteland, there's going to be monsters, there's going to be enemies. You know, there's going to be certain things that can tie right into the show. But then you can also take things from the different video games and tie it in with the show, like the water canister, the water supply relay, whatever you want to call it that's needed. That was from a show. You had the introduction of dog meat. So we had like more of a backstory.
They actually called him dog meat. Did you hear him call him that? Yes.
Yeah, so we actually had stuff come
Dog meat is my partner right now in Fallout 4. I will forever keep dog meat.
It's cool because I want to say that dog meat was found in a Nuka-Cola.
No, he was found at the Red Rocket.
Right.
No pun intended, but it's like the dog was found at the Red Rocket. But it was the Red Rocket. Yeah.
I can't remember if the dog was just like out ranging or if the dog was stuck in that cooler to where, if you remember, the who the fuck was it? Was it the ghoul? Did somebody?
The ghoul found him.
Okay, yeah, so the ghoul found him, but it was the guy that was from the Brotherhood put the dog into the cooler. And is that where the dog or dog meat was found in Fallout 4?
No, he was just, I swear.
He just out roaming around?
I swear I just found him.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm playing the game right now. And I swear he was just roaming, and then I was like, hey, dog, what's up? You're going to be mine now.
You are now mine.
Yeah. And then now, yeah. So I dropped Piper. I was like, I ain't get a fucking romance, you bitch. I'm like, I'm going with the Brotherhood. Every time I talk to people, she's like, Piper disliked this. I'm like, fuck you, Piper. Get the fuck out of here. Dog meat never dislikes anything I fucking say. He just goes and fucking mauls people for me. And I'm like, you're the guy I need.
I always had one of the big brutes. I want to call him a brute, but it was like a green monster.
Oh, the super mutant.
Yes, I believe you get them like the
you get
Boston
them. You gotta
area,
find them in
marketplace. Like
I haven't
Boston
found them
marketplace?
yet in my new playthrough, but yeah. he will like and dislike things too. But as long as you dislike things, he'll dislike it he'll like it for you. Piper's the other way. It's like, why would you join the Brotherhood? Why would you, like this one fucking dude, he's like homeless and he needs a new liver. And he's like, Nuka-Cola, doctor said I can't drink liquor anymore. I can only drink cola. And my guy's like, what about water? And she disliked that. I'm like, I'm telling the guy to drink fucking water.
Well, it's not like there's good purified water up in the wasteland. It's all radiated.
There's purified water every now and then. And it's like, she's like, oh, I want you to steal that fucking Nuka-Cola from the fucking robot who's making the ramen noodles in Diamond City. And I'm like, no. And I'm like, okay, I'll fucking do that just for you, Piper, to make this motherfucker happy so he doesn't fucking die of dehydration. So it's like I tried doing that. I got caught by the fucking police with the fucking battered helmets. And it's like, god damn. That's just my life in Fallout 4 right now. So I don't know where Piper is. I tried to find her. She's gone. That's totally fine with me.
The wasteland got her.
Yeah. I got dog meat. That's all I need.
Man and his best friend.
And I was like, all right, Piper, you're cool, but you suck as a fucking companion because you dislike everything. And I do not. Okay, I romanced her a couple times in a couple other playthroughs, but it's like, no, I want dog meat. Not as my romance partner, but it's like,
we won't get into bestiality.
No,
that's one thing that'll probably get us canceled.
We'll be all right. We'll just find a couple ghouls down the road. We'll be all right.
Playing the video game a lot to now watching the entire show. What do you like more?
Playing the video game. I would say so. Because I played New Vegas. I played Fallout 4, Fallout 3. Just so many different stories. Different ways, to go about it, too. I mean, you can choose a different path in each game. So, and it has so much, replay value, I guess. So,
looking forward, I don't believe, since we just had a big update with Fallout 4 and 76, that we're going to be seeing a Fallout 5 for a couple years. Because Bethesda, very big game company, they have other games, big all-star games that they're probably going to work on.
I mean, when did they literally announced, they showed like a tiny video, 6 years ago, 6 or 5 years ago of not Skyrim, but Elder Scrolls 6. They didn't say anything, but they're like, hey, it's coming. And they showed a little clip of I don't know, the geographical area. So I don't expect a Fallout game anytime soon. I'm assuming it's going to be Fallout or Elder Scrolls 6.
That's what I believe too. We're going to have one of those by then. We're probably already going to be in season 2. Or maybe even season 3 of Fallout before any kind of video game is talked about. I think what would be cool is if they have, let's say, Fallout Season 4 is finally coming out, but it's going to tie in a little bit with the Fallout 5 video game, or at least have a couple things with it. That would be interesting. But it raises the question of the longevity of a TV show or a show, because although it's on TV, it's Amazon Prime streaming service. I'm old, but anyway. You're going to have a show versus a video game. I think the video game, obviously, is going to be around for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Versus the show. So how much of that video game are you going to cram into this show to where people are just tired of fucking Fallout? Because everybody loves Fallout right now. They love the video game. They love the show. It could
even
go in an opposite way, though, very fast.
Even I saw something on TV. They were talking to Todd Howard. And they're talking about, hey, how about we put this in the show? How about we put this? And Todd Howard's like, no, I want to put that in Fallout 5. I want to put that in Fallout 5. So even he's like, I want to do this with Fallout 5. So, I mean, obviously there will be, but it's like, dude, how much are you going to cram into the show before people are like, all right, I'm ready for a fucking new game or new content or something. So, I don't know.
There is an Easter egg in Fallout 4. Have you played the Elder Scrolls Online? And the opening, no?
Nope.
Okay, the opening scene And it's the same thing on the VR version of the Elder Scrolls, to where you're a prisoner, you're a hostage, and you're in a wooden wagon with a couple other people.
Oh yeah, like
Okay,
the prison fucking fetish kind of thing that they always do. You're always in a prison at the start of the game.
Okay, so it's basically like that, but there is some type of drink out there in the world. I cannot remember what it is, but I just seen it on like a YouTube short video. But you can drink that drink, and after a few minutes, your character will pass out when you're playing Fallout 4. And then all of a sudden, your character will come back to, and you wake up in this wagon that resembles something just like on the Elder Scrolls. And there's a couple dead bodies in there, and looking exactly like how it would be for the Elder Scrolls, but it's in Fallout. It's cool that the same game company could do that kind of stuff, and I'm curious on how much more they're going to, I can't say merge those games, but put those Easter eggs into them. Mm-hmm. How much can we expect Bethesda to keep these games alive without having another big release title? Because we're not going to have Fallout and Skyrim and Oblivion and all this stuff for the next 20 years. Yeah, we could see those games, but I think at some point it's going to get really fucking boring. Hey, we got Fallout 42 coming out. This time we're in.
You forgot about
97.
the latest Fallout or latest Bethesda game,
What's that?
Starfield.
Right. Is anybody talking about it now?
No,
Can we?
it sucks.
Can we see a Starfield 2?
I don't know. I mean, I tried playing it. I played like probably 20 minutes, and I'm like, this game is not my game.
Starfield also came out in, I don't want to say a weird time. It came out at a good time, but when Elder Scrolls were first coming out and Fallout was first coming out.
It was supposed to be the next Fallout and Skyrim or Elder Scrolls, but within space. And this thing just seems so fucking bland.
But we have plenty of other MMORPGs that will fit into the same genre. So it'd be very hard to get hooked on just one game, like Starfield, and play it nonstop, which back then, you didn't have so many game selections. And although you did,
I mean,
you would have them on hard disk, right? So you would have to physically buy it or rent it, and it's not like how it is now. I don't like this game. This game sucks. Uninstall, reinstall, 3 hours later, you're playing Starfield. This game sucks. I'm going to go play Helldivers 2. Or I'm going to go play something else, and it's just, it's so fucking demanding on how we are on our systems, and it's like instant gratification. We don't like something, we can go and we can pick something else or try something else out, and boom.
Yeah.
Back then, you buy a game for $60, you're kind of fucking stuck with this. So I was like, oh, this is now forced enjoyment, and you could get into it, or it could be like, I can't believe I wasted 40 fucking hours playing this game. I'm never gonna get this game or this time back ever in my life.
Never gonna get this time back. But it's like, I kind of felt bad playing Starfield because I never gave it a chance because I don't have the fucking time to dedicate myself to everything that Starfield has to offer. And it's like, maybe that's it. I don't know. Because I know when Skyrim came out, Fallout 3 came out, I was probably, teenager, younger 20s, don't have a dedicated job.
Even at that point, did you even have a cell phone?
Yeah. I mean, I had a cell phone, but it wasn't like my iPhone.
No, it was probably on a BlackBerry or a little flip phone where you send one text message, you spend about 10 minutes hitting the same button.
I got to circle through all these fucking characters. Yeah. I remember those days. Those are the best to text and drive with.
Oh, my God. When Fallout 4 came out, I want to say that was...
I was working I probably got fired from our last job.
Jesus. I remember when every Fallout game came out, when it started with 3, 1 and 2, I didn't really care for it too much just because I wasn't a major PC gamer. And still, even when 3 came out and 4 came out and 76 came out, I played a lot of 4. I had the flu from both ends when 4 first came out, so I had a good couple days to where I could just sit down and grind on it when I was feeling up to it, and I loved it. And I kind of got burnt out on it, not because of playing it too much, but because it's not my style of game. And the reason why it's not my style of game is that there's a lot of dialogue. And if you just want to play the game, you want action, you want blood, guts, and gore, you're just going to hit A, and just skip through all the dialogue, and then what you're doing is not making any sense to you.
Yeah.
And there'll be a lot of points to where, yeah, I am walking from point A, I need to get to point B, and it's going to lead me to point C. And there's a lot of action that goes on in between it. And then when you're at point B, you're going to have to spend 20 minutes talking to people, and then you're going to have to make decisions, and that's going to ultimately affect what's going on in C. So if you don't pay attention to what you do at B, it's going to fuck up C. Then you're not going to know how that ties you back into A or, the next D location, whatever it is. I like those games. Yes, you can get very immersed into them. I'm just not that kind of gamer. So for me, that's why I love the Fallout show probably so much. That I understand everything about Fallout. I understand things about it and how it's tying into the show. So I played enough of the games to understand what's going on. I love the show because I don't have to make those dialogue selections. I don't have to spend hours just to get some kind of entertainment out of it.
I love those dialogue selections, though.
They just take so fucking long. That's my problem with them.
Right now, I don't have the time for it. I'm not going to lie. It's like, hey, I'm talking to this guy. I spent fucking 10, 15 minutes talking to one fucking NPC. I get that, but it was like back in the day. I mean, like I was a teenager. I was probably young. Didn't have a job. Didn't really fucking care about it. And I was just like, okay, do this. All right, it's going to affect this. It's going to affect, C, A, B, whatever you were talking about. But I really liked that because I was able to create my own adventure. And, now I'm kind of falling away from it. I feel like just maybe that's why I don't not as far in Starfield as I should be, because I just don't feel like I have the time. I mean,
I don't believe you. Because I know if they were to release tomorrow a brand new Mass Effect game, you would take every vacation day that you have available, which means that you would not get sick. At any other time, at this point of the year, we're in the month of 2024, so you would not get sick anymore.
That's why
you would not take vacation on Thanksgiving or Christmas. You would play that fucking game, but you would get into that game, and I know that you love Mass Effect so much, not because you have the legendary helmet and shit over here, but because every decision that you make in the first game ties in with the second game.
Yes,
and the third game.
And I'm really hoping every decision I made in the first game, second game, third game goes into Mass Effect 4, so the date of the release, I am taking that fucking week off. I'm telling you right now. Yes. Maybe because Starfield's just a brand new game, and it's a brand new universe to me. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. But, no, Mass Effect, yes. I need a week off. I will. The thing that pisses me off about Mass Effect is they haven't fucking released any fucking new content for it. They're like, we're working on this game. We're going to send you a new fucking screenshot. We're going to send you this little fucking video of the fucking mass relay that's being rebuilt. We're going to send you a new fucking little thing about this game. It's like, dude, give us fucking real fucking world. Fucking, like, where are you at? I mean, do I need to... I don't know. What do I got to do to help you guys to get this game out? Because I know I'm going to be spending a whole fucking week playing this fucking game. But that's just Mass Effect for me.
It sounds like every year for you on November 7th is like every year for me on Christmas. It's a fucking disappointment, right? You're waiting all year for this one day.
Chris will send me like this little clip or a fucking screenshot. This is what we got for N7 Day. Oh, it shows people building the mass relay. Oh, cool. Mass relays are being back. Oh, cool. Yada, 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 yada. And then the first trailer, they showed like, hey, Shepard's going to be back. Cool. Awesome. They showed Liara in there. And I'm like, all right, Liara's going to be in there. She's dusting off like the snow off his armor. There's no body there. Shepard's alive naked somewhere.
He's like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the one Terminator movie, just walks into a bar naked, gets into a fight and takes his clothes.
That's Shepard. That's where he's at. He's at a bar. Guys, you don't know what the fuck I've been through, guys.
Yeah, I'm sure the stories that he could tell, it would be a pretty rough life to hear about, especially at a bar.
Oh, yeah.
It's a fun game, and I hope that you do get something come November 7th.
Yes, I really do. And I wish they just gave us more. I don't know. When do they do the next game expo?
What game expo? I mean, there's a lot of game
when
expos. or
is
coverages.
E3? When are they doing that?
It's going to be this year.
I mean, when?
As far as the dates, I really hope that something like E3 becomes more of a thing. Because
Yeah.
it seems like there's been so many developers over the course of the last couple of years, probably ever since COVID, maybe even a little before COVID. But anyway, they've been dropping out of E3 because they have their own, right? You know, Quake or QuakeCon, they'll have their own thing. There's plenty of other companies that branch out and do their own things. It would be nice to have them all come back to a convention to where we can get all of that news all at once and not have to wait for different breakout events throughout the course of the year. So I don't even know if E3 is going to be one that we're going to look forward to.
Yeah, because they've been all branching off. It's been like Xbox, PlayStation. Obviously, I don't know if PAX East is still a thing. But, I mean, yeah. We'll see, but I know there's going to be some kind of... Maybe we'll hear something during the end of the year, during the Game Awards about it. But BioWare needs a fucking W because they had too many L's throughout the years. They had Anthem. They had Andromeda. I mean, the Legendary Edition obviously was probably a little bit of a success. They only really amped up Mass Effect 1. Maybe a little bit of Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 3 is the same, but yeah, I mean, they need a W at this point. I mean, they used to be one of the best developers as far as KOTOR, you know, Knights of the Old Republic. And they were supposed to remake that on PlayStation, be a PlayStation exclusive. Then they scrapped that. I think it was supposed to be like Aspire or somebody who was supposed to do it. I don't remember what company, but yeah, they ended up scrapping that. So yeah, BioWare definitely needs that W with, hey, bring him back, Matt Shepard. And yeah.
Could you see that form into a television show?
No, not really.
Can you see being compacted into a couple movies like how they do Star Wars?
No.
So are you fine with it just being a video game and never seeing anything more come to the big screen to do with it?
Yeah, I would rather it just be a video game. Just because, I mean, that's the, you know, benefit of the game is being able to make your own choice. Paragon, you know, or evil, whatever way you want to go, or neutral. I mean, you can't really make, unless you're doing like a side story on it, you know, with a different race, like the Quarians or the Tyrians, or, you know, I don't know. Andromeda was a fucking mess of itself, so you really didn't have a choice. So, I don't know. I can never see that. We have enough, you know, we have Star Trek, we have Star Wars, leave, you know, Mass Effect to the video game world, so.
Are you done with Star Wars?
Me?
Both video game and adaptations?
No. I plan on playing the new game.
New game as in...
I think it's called Outlaws. I would have to look.
Okay, so you're not talking about the remastered of Battlefront 1 and 2.
Oh, that game you're talking about.
Well, you know, that was the latest game that came out, right?
Did you try it?
I don't need to try it. I mean, I remember the original ones so very well.
I know you were excited for it last time you were here.
Yes.
Me and you both said.
Yep, and I did buy it. And
I bought it too.
I haven't played it yet.
They supposedly did an update, so it's probably better now as far as multiplayer, but I heard a lot of issues with it. I only did just a single player, so I could do, like, you know, the missions I need to do, go through, do whatever I got to do, but it wasn't as fun as I thought it would be. I never played it as a kid, so... I mean, it's pretty cool, but I got to get to the better missions, like, you know, the space battles where you're the X-Wing, I guess. All the things I saw that I want to do. So.
Yeah, I want to say it was Galaxy Conquest, or at least that's what they called it on the original Battlefront 2. When that first came out, it was on the PlayStation 2 that I had it for, and the capabilities were there for you to directly hook it up to an Ethernet port, but at that point in time, no, that wasn't really a thing because you were, or at least I was still running on dial-up internet. So it was just not a smart decision at all because you can get a phone call, it would knock you off.
Knock you off the
Somebody
game.
would pick up the phone in the household, it would knock you off. If you were to receive a fax, because that was a thing back in those days, it would knock you off. So there was just so many bad things that could happen to really ruin it for you being a gamer back then. So it was nice just playing it either split screen, like you would come over and we could play it on the same TV, or just playing it solo. So I don't know how it's going to work with other people and you have to worry about everybody else's bandwidths. It's great to think that all the people, the NPCs, or whatever you want to call them, all your allies and enemies that are on your team or on the other team are now going to be actually people playing the game. It's awesome, but I have a feeling that when I do start to play it, because I know I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to play it, I'm going to play the shit out of it, then I'm going to miss just the old aspect of it being you and playing with just the computer. You're not playing with other people. And I'm not saying that it's not going to be fun. I still think it's going to be fun. And that's why I need to jump into it before I want to start trashing it or talking bad about it, because it was a good game back then. I just hope they don't ruin it with their remastered. And I have heard bad things about it. I have heard good things about it. I don't think that they have ruined it. Yes, nowadays with the updates, the game sucks. Update comes out, game's great. Then the game breaks because they did something or there's too many cheaters or whatever it is, so they have to update the game again, and then the game's going to go to shit again, or however that works. I miss it being onto a disc, and I had this conversation with myself 2 days ago when I was trying to stream Dead Island 2. I had to jump through so many fucking holes or loops that are practically on fire at this point just to get a solid connection here and here for it to work here so I can stream it on Twitch or something. And a lot of my issue is now having to rely so much on the internet instead of just being able to play it on a disc that's hooked up to my computer, that's through a third-party cable or something, so it all records and it saves right on the computer itself. And it didn't matter if the internet connection or anything went out, it was already saved. Mm-hmm. But having to worry about a blip in the internet, there's been so many times where my stream will just go fucking haywire to where how I have it all connected through my headset, when I lose audio, it loses also on the PC that has that tied and shared with the Xbox. So I get lag on the Xbox screen, lag on the PC screen, and I also lose my audio. And that happens so many times during the course of a stream, and it's really not fun. And even when I'm not streaming, that shit will still happen because we are so fucking dependent on internet. Mm-hmm. And I love it because we can do something like this to where now technology, we're hanging shit from our collars instead of, hopefully we're going to be able to get rid of these mics and we can have a conversation and you can be over there and I can be over here and, be able to pick up on the audio perfect. So technology is getting great, but I believe we're so reliant on our devices. And it's really going to suck if something like that does happen, like Fallout, to where we're not going to have any of these electronic devices anymore.
Yeah.
And I will say that my dreams were completely fucked for about a week after I watched the Fallout show. And not atom bombs, nothing like that, but there were bombings that did take place. And
I was like, you were worried about the apocalypse.
I was, yeah. So I'll give you at least the one dream that I had that I remember very vividly, like it was yesterday. And I just finished this show, and the wife was at the house, and it was not our house, so keep that in mind. So the layout of the house, but it was not at our house. It was my grandparents' house when they lived in Ryle Oak, and they had a nice little crawl space and all this kind of stuff. But I was out there in the front lawn, and I seen the skies just starting to turn gray, and there was a plane that came down really close, and then the plane went back up, and then I'm just watching it, and all of a sudden it was like slow motion, and it went into the ground off in the distance, and then it was just a huge explosion, like the plane had nothing but explosives on it. So that came through, and then the wife came out of the house and was like, oh my God, what was that? And I'm pointing over at the sky and just a huge ass fireball. And then all of a sudden I'm looking up in the sky and there's like there was something coming at me. It was a very small dot, but it definitely had a tail, but it was a rocket that was coming like right at me. So I told her to go inside. We ran inside, and it was like something of an action movie because I shut the door and then I jumped, and then all of a sudden, like all the windows blow out, and it's like, oh, this shit's gotten real now. Got the family and everybody downstairs, got the dogs and everything downstairs, and I'm going to go back up because it sounds like I heard somebody walking around upstairs, and the wife tells me, "You got this." And she hands me like this fucking stick. It's like a branch. But when she hands me that, I lock up the shelter and I go upstairs and I'm fending the enemies off with this little branch. But when I woke up from that dream, it was like, holy shit, what if that was the actual thing to where now all of a sudden we're under attack and you gotta defend your homestead. I don't know how it would be for you here, and you still got the courtyard.
I have reoccurring dreams just like that too, man. So it's like I have dreams of like planes falling down or like, comets hitting or like, bombs hitting. And I'm just running for my life. It's fucking crazy. And it's like, what do I do? Oh shit, I'm fucked. And then it hits and I'm like, oh, I wake up. Oh shit. Yeah, maybe it's the time we're in. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's the stuff that we're playing too.
Maybe, yeah, it's probably the shows and fucking
the shows and the video games are just post-apocalyptic and everything is.
My brain's like, all right, dude, you're in survival mode. You're asleep, but you're in survival mode.
When you wake up and you have a gun strap with shotgun bullets around your front, and you got a gun in your holster. And that's reality.
What are you going to do in this scenario? We're going to fucking simulate it.
I think if you wake up and you have all that strapped on you, you should probably make better life decisions to, hopefully have better dreams. There are some people that I will talk with, or I do see a lot online, to where they are major sleepwalkers, and they will dress themselves to the gills like they are in Apocalypse, or they're
like in a prepping mode.
Yes, yeah, they start doing this crazy shit, and watching these shows about people. It's so funny. Watching YouTube, it's fucking it's very time consuming, but it's great for a laugh because like in your corner, somebody would have a camera, then they would have another camera over here, and just watching the people like slowly walk around their apartment or their house, and they. This is the scary part, right? They go to where the guns are and they're loading the guns and they have everything out on the table and they start to get dressed. In this one situation, they're like all loaded up. And let's say like over there, like how the chairs are and you got the countertops. They have the countertops all full of their arsenal. They're sitting there, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, you just see like the flip was switched to where they realize, where the hell am I? Why are there weapons? And the one person in particular, he was so confused on why he was wearing fatigues and he was dressed in head to toe camo and why his guns were out. And he ended up waking up his wife to, ask like, why is all this here? And, they ended up rolling back the footage to find out that he's like a major sleepwalker and
loaded up, getting ready for war, man.
Should those kind of people be having weapons if they're sleepwalking like that? It's crazy to think about. And I would say that it would be one of your neighbors that could be doing it too, but you don't have neighbors.
I do have neighbors now.
Oh, you have neighbors?
I do, yes.
Wow, okay. So
haven't met the next door neighbor yet.
So we have directly somebody next door here.
Next
what about
door,
over here?
I believe so.
Wow.
I see lights on.
You got a front porch now, or like a new front deck? Now all of a sudden everybody's rolling in.
Apparently everybody's rolling in now. It's not Party City like it used to be.
Oh, that was my next question. If the courtyard was going to be the fighting zone, like how it used to be in the past couple summers.
Where I'm throwing lightsabers to the kids. I'm just throwing my thumb and like up or down.
Finding bloody knives in the courtyard.
I found a knife. Like, yes, you go, kid. You got him.
$5, stab your brother with it.
That was my entertainment for a little bit. Go out there, sit on my porch, drink, and be like, all right, these kids are fighting each other. This is cool. This is like when I was a kid. Or I could see like I was a kid down there, and the adults was watching me, my brothers. My mom used to always tell us, like, "Oh, the neighbors love to watch you guys. They think it's an episode of South Park."
And it's nice to know that you do have neighbors next door, because I did just hear and feel through the floor a large boom. So if you did not have neighbors, I would be like, there's something going on over there.
There's ghosts.
I sure hope there's not ghosts. It's daylight right now, but lock your door at least.
Lock your door.
There's something going on over there, but it's a good thing you did not knock down the walls, because you would have a lot of
I didn't
answers.
just make everything, mine. This is mine.
You'd have to give a lot of answers to management on why the entire floor is now yours. Why every bathroom was overflown with shit. There's beer bottles and just a big party. So with the past couple months, since it's been the last time since I've been out, next time I come out, we'll have Chris along with me. Mm-hmm. Has there anybody, we already talked about games, so has there been any kind of movies, shows besides Fallout that you've gotten into?
Oh. Probably The Boys. I've been watching that a little bit.
The Boys.
Yeah.
Like Trailer Park Boys?
He says shit. I love Trailer Park
I know you
Boys.
do.
The Boys is like, apparently it's an actual comic. It's on Amazon Prime. It's like the Avengers, except it's like a lot more R-rated.
So the superheroes.
They're considered superheroes.
Okay.
So you probably saw the memes of Homelander and what is it? Billy the Butcher. Hang on. Dang, I thought you would be of all people. You've ever seen this guy like on any TikToks or anything?
I don't have TikTok, so I'm going to say no. Negative. No. No idea who it is. It looks like a knockoff between Aquaman and Superman.
He's supposed to be like a knockoff of Captain America and Superman.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's an actual comic book, but on Amazon Prime, they're just starting up season 4. And it gets pretty brutal. It gets very fucking weird. It gets very fucking X-rated or R-rated. And so the first show shows up. There's a guy who's supposed to be like the Flash, right? He's like running, doing something, and this guy and his girlfriend steps off the sidewalk onto the street for a second. They're all BSing. Next thing you know, she just turns into a pile of mist, a blood mist, like red mist. It's because this guy who was like supposed to be like the Flash version of the Boys just literally decimates her, runs right through her. And then, and then the show starts off from there. And, it's a pretty good show. I like it.
That kind of does sound familiar. I want to say I sat down and I started to watch something like that, and maybe I just got confused or I never ran back to it. There's not much that pulls me in. And I think that's why the Fallout show pulled me in so well, is, it's a video game. And
or like, there's an episode where this is like the picture right here. He's on a plane. He's supposed to, him and this other superhero who can't fly. This plane's going down, right? And he's the reason it went down because he was trying to stop the hijackers. So he uses like his eye, like lasers to kill them, but he accidentally hits the control panels. So the plane starts going down. So the other superhero's like, we got to get these people to safety. You got to land the plane. He's like, I can't fucking do that. And he's like, she's like, how about this? You just start grabbing passenger, start grabbing them, taking them down to safety. He's like, I can't do that in time. And then he's like, they're all going to fucking die. And it was like pretty fucking awesome. It was a pretty good episode. So he pretty much tells her, he's like, yeah, this plane's going to die. All these people are going to die. Or plane's going down, all these people are going to fucking die. And then, so the plane goes down, and they're all trying to fucking, like, rush him. And he's like, any of you guys fucking come near me, I'm going to fucking kill you right now. And then him and the other girl end up leaving, and the plane fucking crashes, kills all of them. It's pretty fucking wild.
So are these superheroes immortal?
Kinda.
So if the plane went down, He was on there. He would survive.
No, but he's able to fly out.
And not take anybody else with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a dick move, huh?
Yeah. So, like, yeah, he's the one that was like, oh, it's my birthday. I don't know. I saw this meme, too. He was like, hey, it's my birthday. I got to do this girl was about to jump off a building, kill herself. And then it turned out, like, the girl he was seeing. So the boy, I don't know. Let me try to explain. Boys are Billy the Butcher, this other guy. They're not superheroes. They have a couple other superheroes that are with them and just some random guy. They're called the Boys. But they end up pretty much fucking up like the girl he was seeing, who's the other superhero. And she's like totally like mutilated. She's in a hospital bed. She ends up swallowing her own tongue to kill herself. And like it was his birthday that day. And like he goes up there, he's like, hey, it's my birthday. It's my day. Every birthday I get to save someone. And so he goes up there, goes to save someone. And he's like, hey, it's my birthday. You're not jumping off. I'm going to save you, talk you off. And then he sees like a billboard. It was like, this person, this superhero ended up dying, suicide, whatever. He's like, that can't happen. It's my birthday. And then the girl's like, okay, I'm fine. I don't need to jump off. He's like, no, you're going to jump off. So he makes her kill herself.
Jesus.
Yeah. He's fucked up, dude. It's really fucked up. A really fucked up show.
It's a good show. It sounds like because, they're in season 4?
They're on season 4.
They're
They're about to put out season 4. They just released a trailer for it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I like the Billy the Butcher. He's like an Australian dude. And, and Australian people really crack me up because, how you doing, love? Or something. They always say that stuff like that to any girl. And it's like, hey, if an American said that, they'll be in HR's office right away. Like, hey, love, how you doing?
If you're talking on the streets like that, you can. There's no HR when you're walking on the streets.
I know.
The police department.
No, it's called the police department. That's why I love the Australian people's accents. I was like, because you'd always be like, what are you talking about, love? And it would just be some random girl. And I'm like, I'll be in HR's office right now. Or I'll have the cops called on me.
I would agree with you about Australian people. So I've met a couple over the years. And this guy I met about, a decade and a half ago. I will not mention his name. He used to listen to the podcast. I don't know if he does anymore, but
hopefully he does.
Same person. Well, there's 2 of them, and they both used to listen to the podcast. One, I don't know really what he's doing now. The other one I still talk to every now and again. But they both had the same name, and they both had really different personalities. But they both talk the same, but they're completely different people. And I knew about them being a little bit different from each other, just not because of how they talk, because obviously, you don't sound like an American. What are you? But they would break the conversation and do their own thing. And I'm kind of beating around the bush with it because they're very wild and unique. I will say that the one person, we all went to the hot springs. So it's we were basically all there on vacation, and that's when I initially met them and heard them off in the distance. They're talking and have an accent, right? So I was like, oh, that's intriguing. You don't really hear that too much. Sometimes you might hear a Matthew McConaughey accent or something like that, from Kentucky or y'all, something like that, something from the country. You don't really hear an Australian accent or a British accent too much. So that's what moved me to them. And since we were at the hot springs, the guy was a ladies' man. And he was not very good with his words. He was just very out there and flamboyant and bubbly, and that was his personality. And he liked to get attention. Mm-hmm. And I realized that he liked to get attention when he started to undress. And it's not like he had a Greek goddess of a bod. He wasn't built like Jason Momoa when he played Iron Man or some shit like that.
Played Aquaman.
Yeah, just very average dad bod and skinny arms, huge ass beer belly. But his choice of attire to wear for swimming, that's what caught my attention.
Was it like a tiger printed Speedo?
It was a Speedo, but it was of a tuxedo.
Of a tiger. Yes.
And it was not like your average Speedo. It was like more of a G-string. So there's like a little piece of dental floss in the back there. But the guy, I hung out with him for almost the entire time that I was down there on that little vacation, because he was such a fantastic person to be around. And I hope that he is still out there listening. I hope both of them are. But, he'll never leave my memory of, that was my first ever interaction with an Australian, and that's all I picture now is just him in a Speedo.
With a tuxedo. Tuxedo Speedo.
But this guy would have probably at least 5 women around him at all times, if not more. There was never less than
the accent, dude.
And that was it, too. I'm sure the Speedo has something to do with it because it attracts people. But, just having that kind of personality. And, so every Australian that I've met since then, they've all been fully clothed, thankfully. But they've all have a very unique accent, and they all have a unique personality. It's just how things are. Everything's a little bit different. And the big thing that I always hear is the 2 things. Our bugs or insects are so small, because over there, usually they're fucking huge, because, especially up here.
I mean, they have snakes and fucking spiders the size of fucking,
a Tesla, right?
Yeah.
They're fucking huge because there's no cold weather to keep that shit kind of regulated, right? Up here, at least, unless you get like a house spider or a wolf spider, that might be, a silver fucking dollar. It could be pretty big, right? Usually they're like little dimes or quarters and not very big. So I always hear that about the insects. They're fucking huge over there versus here. And then 2, on how Americans think of Australian beer as Foster's is fucking nasty. Because every Australian that has come over that I've met, that'll be my thing is, have you tried Foster's? And for the people that don't know what it is, it's a beer, but it's an American version of what Australian beer is. Correct. And
Foster's, Australian for beer.
Yeah.
That's the slogan is.
And I don't know if it's done there in Australia. They just bring it on over, but it's very weird because over there they wouldn't have a Foster's. So they would have no idea what it is until they come over to the States and like, oh my God, what is this piss water? What is this
What the
garbage?
fuck are you representing us with?
But then they taste of what America is, and they would drink something like Bud Light, and they would say that this stuff is amazing. I'm like, you have no idea what beer is.
Whoa! Let me introduce you to something called Blue Moon and
Craft beer.
Craft beer. We got Bell's. We got Founders.
Yeah, there's so much, and that was a very fun time too, because where we were all at, we did a lot of, I don't want to say partying or drinking and make it sound like we were delinquents and shitting on the town and doing whatever we want to do and spray painting stuff. We were out drinking and having a good time, but introducing them to the culture of America and trying out those different beers, because they would never know what a flight of beer was. Get multiple different beers.
Yeah.
And they didn't know about our portion size, like how we had some brisket up there at the brewery. They had no idea that it's just like really greasy meat thrown onto a fucking steaming hot plate with some...
Literally, that's what it was.
Yes.
It was just them throwing beef, like slices of beef onto our plate.
Kind of presentation.
I did not think it was going to be like that. They're like, we don't have sliced brisket. We have, what do they say?
I think it was shredded.
Shredded brisket.
Yeah.
Where me and Steve were
Shredded or
like,
pulled. They're like,
that's fine. We don't care as long as it's brisket. And I was like, this just looks like a bunch of fucking just meat on a plate.
And did you get a half order or a full?
Half.
I got a full order. Your portion size looked about the same as mine.
Oh, God.
And
I
paid about another $6 more.
Yeah,
for
you
mine.
did.
Again, I'm not complaining. It was very good food, but going along with the portion size, that's one thing that they were just really surprised on, is how massive of a portion everything is. It's like, yeah, welcome to America, home of diabetes.
You guys get so much food.
Yes, we do.
All right, mate. You got so much food. Yeah, I got. Oh my God, I just kind of doused my meat or my brisket in whatever barbecue sauces they had, because I was like, no, they still have good brisket. I'm not gonna lie, it's not bad brisket. It's good.
No, it's not bad at all. I'm not trashing the place. I'm not trashing the food. Nothing. But if you were an outsider, if you're somebody that goes to a restaurant and like lives off of presentation, because they do say that you eat with your eyes.
Yeah, it looked like you just threw a bunch of like, I don't even know, like chopped up roast beef fried onto a plate. It looked like kind of like dog food on your plate. I'm not going to lie.
It looked like the mentality was, shit, we don't have any more clean plates. We'll go ahead and use this cookie tray.
Yeah.
We'll
No, it was like a
right
steel fucking tray.
It was a cookie tray.
Yeah,
That's
a cookie
exactly
tray.
what it was.
Here's...
You're going to a brewery too, right? So everything's a little bit unique about every brewery
Yeah.
or brewery that you visit because, they could have those unique things about it. All the way down to their bathrooms could be a little bit unique. A lot of those places will have like old-time plumbing that you would see running from the urinals in the guys' bathroom, but everything's very rustic looking, or it could look nice and modern, but then the beer is served not in the glass, but is something shaped like a shoe. There's so many different unique things that these breweries do, and it's a very cool thing. It's nice that you have one right up the road.
Yeah.
Where I'm currently living, there is not one, at least within a close driving range.
You got, what's it called?
There is a local watering hole not too far.
What is that called? We've been there.
Yes, we have been there, and I don't want to talk about it because I don't.
Salem and who else?
Yeah, we've been there a couple times, and I'm not going to call by name because I don't want to be rude and say that it's a shithole, and I don't recommend it. However, if you're...
It's not fat girls, I promise.
And before we get canceled for you saying fat girls, that was a skit that we did years ago.
Yes.
When you and I both, along
It was
with other
a play
people,
on another word for another restaurant that's no longer there, actually.
there was an establishment called Fat Boys.
Fat Boys, but
And
we called it Fat Girls.
And we just did a spin-off because we would travel to Fat Boys, and it would just be an abomination of a dive bar. It was the place that you wanted to go to on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, or any course during the week. If you wanted to fight someone, you would go to that place. And it didn't matter if you went there on the weekend or if you went there through the week. You could easily walk in there and pick a fight just because of how you looked, because you were not a regular, or your boy looked at the other girl wrong. I mean, there's just...
I sneezed in the wrong direction and got...
Yeah. I mean, it's over dumb shit like that.
You guys like, you looking at my girl? And I'm like, no, I just sneezed, dog.
Oh, memories. But anyway, going back to that shithole by me, the best thing that I can say is they do serve their beer, warm beer, mind you, in solo cups.
Warm beer.
Oh my God. I mean, you're talking about like a solo cup size, right? Smaller at the bottom, bigger at the top. Over half of it is foam because the beer is so fucking warm.
Warm,
nasty.
fucking...
I mean, you're talking to where you can taste the yeast from the barrel because it's just sat for so long. And, that's their high premium beer, which is normally Budweiser or just something
more
very
like
generic.
Busch Light.
Yeah. I think Budweiser is probably like a very high
end. That's more highbrow.
Beer there.
Highbrow for them.
But the bathrooms, that's the best part. So
yes.
I can go there locally and watch a lot of fights happen too, partake if I want to, but I'm not into that lifestyle anymore. And what is so odd about that place is, and they may have fixed it, but you can walk into the guys' bathroom. And this is a true story. This happened to me. I had to take a piss, and that's usually what happens when you go somewhere, you're there for a period of time. Doesn't matter what you're drinking, you're going to have to use the facility. Walking into the bathroom, and there's 2 bathroom stalls, and there's 1 urinal. Then you have the sinks over here. As soon as you walk in, I see the open urinal. I see the far shitter, door open, and then I see the shitter by itself with no walls, no door, no nothing. Just a toilet.
Which one are you taking?
Well, I couldn't take the one with just a toilet because there was a guy using it. I kid you not, this happened to where I had to take a piss, so I made a decision if I'm going to stand next to this guy who's taking that
made
shit,
the executive decision.
or if I'm going to go over to where I can have a little bit of privacy and piss. I don't care. I pissed right next to the guy. He had a conversation with me, and
you guys had a good. I made a friend.
Right, I made a friend, and I was using the bathroom. But that's the kind of place it is. So that's why I'm not going to say, yeah, go to this place. I recommend it. No.
I think I remember that bathroom. Oh my God, that was terrifying.
Yeah. So the first time I saw it, I took a picture of it. I was like, oh my God, this is great. Not when the guy was taking a shit. That would be a little rude. But it was like the second or third
Hey, pose,
time.
buddy.
Smile, give me a peace sign.
Give me the hang loose.
The second or third time I went, that was when I saw the guy. But yeah, I gave him a fist pump after the conversation. It was a lovely conversation with the local drunk.
Fist bumped him. Right. Shake your hand. No, fist bump. No, let's do the elbow.
Do the elbows, right? Many years before COVID. So I don't know if this place is still like that. I can't imagine it being any more classier.
I can't imagine.
No.
Unless you've seen some major renovations.
And there's no major renovations ever. But you could go past that place on a Wednesday night at 10 o'clock.
It'll be fucking banging, dude.
Yes. Yeah, you're talking like 50 fucking cars in the parking lot on a Wednesday at 10 o'clock. I can't believe it. But you talk about a local watering hole or just something to do. Yeah. Okay, so another great example. One of my wife's friends, I think there was a couple of her girlfriends, went there. And she basically told them, good luck. You're going to be shocked. She didn't want to surprise them with anything, but...
Who, your wife or your wife's girlfriends?
The wife was texting back and forth with the girlfriends.
Telling them good luck.
Yeah, telling them good luck because they've never heard of this place and they know that it's not too far from us. And when they went in, they were not impressed. There's like a lot of what the fuck kind of thing.
If they were impressed, they're not very good friends.
I'm not saying that they're good friends, but I guess if they were impressed, they would kind of ask the question of, what's your normal?
What's your normal? Just a trough in the fucking ladies' fucking bathroom.
For you Michiganders out there, if you're listening, if you're old enough, you would probably remember the Pontiac Silverdome. And I remember the Pontiac Silverdome very well because I always went with my dad and maybe a couple friends, depending on when we went. But we would go see Monster Jam.
I used to do
that.
that.
Like the one cool thing that would always be happening at the Silverdome. They didn't play basketball there anymore. They used to play it back in the late 80s. The Detroit Pistons before they moved over to the Palace.
Yeah.
So there really wasn't much of a reason to keep on doing the Pontiac Silverdome, but you always had the events like Monster Jam that would come through. And I was a kid. I remember the crazy parking lot. I remember, people scalping in the parking lot, trying to sell stuff. Some people would say it wasn't in the best area, but it really wasn't that bad. It was Pontiac, and I've been through a lot worse streets of Flint even versus Pontiac or Detroit, right? Every area's got their good area and bad area. Anyway, going back to Pontiac, there in the Silverdome, I had to use the bathroom. And I used the bathroom one time. And I used the bathroom one time because I remember it because it didn't scare me, but I was very, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Dad was walking behind me, and he had his hand on my shoulder, and we're starting to get closer and closer to the front because there was like a 50-person wait in the bathroom. There wasn't a lot of bathrooms, what I remember, and it was a long line, and we're slowly going, but it never came to a stop. It was just always moving very slowly. Right before we walked in, he said, "Stay close to me." So I'm like, okay, whatever. As soon as you walk in, we had to move out of the way because there's people coming in with these large-ass ice bags. I'm just, whatever. What they would do...
throw them in the fucking trough, dude.
So what the ice bags were for, it is to help mitigate the splash of urine, for one, and two, the smell of urine. Because imagine a bathtub, if you will. Behind us, I don't know, we're looking about 15 feet maybe. Imagine a 30 to 40-foot long, narrow bathtub filled with ice. And while people are walking,
there's no privacy strips.
No, there's nothing. There's nothing. And I remember the faucets were even broken, and this was like way before hand sanitizer, right? So you didn't even wash your hands after you pissed. But people were not even stopping. Like, how normally when you piss, you would stand there and you would piss and do your thing. No, people would just go ahead and whip it out and piss as they were walking. I mean, that's all they were doing. The line never stopped.
All right, guys, I whipped it out. I got to make room. All right.
No, there was no making room or anything. It was like everybody was just nuts and butts walking along, and they had a little bit of an angle to where they would just shoot it down and not hit the guy in front or below or behind you. But that's what it was, and that was my experience at the Pontiac Silverdome using the bathroom. Just going from that, and then now having, I guess...
God, when was the last time I had to use a trough?
The kids have no idea what they have nowadays,
Oh my gosh. It's
no idea.
No, I mean, everybody's just so drunk, they don't care. There's no, I don't know. When was the last time? I feel like it was Joe Louis Arena, probably, where I had to use it. And I just already had a few way too many drinks, and I was like, I don't fucking care. And I'm like, we're all men here, guys.
Well, you got to make a decision.
There's no kids. I obviously wouldn't do that. I'll go to the stroll. But it's like, yeah, it would be weird if there was like trying to get a kid in there. It would be like, what the fuck are you doing?
But, what was my dad going to do? Wait in a line for the 1 or 2 stalls to come available? And that one had a line too. So, I mean, again, we're all men. But it was also the 90s. And I think that the 90s were a
little bit
different versus what it is now, right? Mm-hmm. And, we're just getting fucking old, man. We're just getting real old. Talking about peeing in troughs now. Using the bathroom doesn't have any stall walls or doors. Just, right out in the open.
No privacy. Just like, hey, you're going to fucking get to know this guy next to you very well.
Now that I think about that place that is right by the house, it reminds me of a bar in Fallout. Everything is just dilapidated, right? Everything is just fucking so destroyed and rotted out.
You just find like a fucking mannequin in the fucking stall.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's not a place, it's not family friendly, I'll say that much. If you're not a local, you would walk in there and you would be, I don't want to say that you'd be asked to leave. But if you were just like sitting in there and order a water or a burger, they would probably tell you no.
Yeah.
That it's a very strange, odd place to be at. And
no water drinkers here.
Right. We only accept alcoholics at this bar.
What's a salad? Like SpongeBob. Oh, God, no. Oh, my gosh. I'm assuming that place only serves fried pickles and like fucking bush beer. Like,
the last time I was there, they did not serve food. What they had was a little rack right behind the bar that would be having like potato chips, and you would eat potato chips or peanuts or popcorn or something like that. But it was no, there's no food at that bar. And if you were to ever have food at that bar, you'd probably walk out with a disease.
Oh my God.
But I don't even know if the food would give you the disease or if it would be from the beer itself. There's no sanitary. I mean,
no matter what, you're walking out with dysentery.
There's cobwebs all over everything. There's dust and just a pile of chairs in the corner. Then a live band would play and get fucking hammered and fight each other on stage. I've seen that happen before there.
The band will fight each other.
That's what happened. It was the lead singer and the drummer started getting into a yelling match. Then all of a sudden, punches were thrown and the fucking guitar got broke. The drum set was destroyed. It was a horrific night for them. I loved it. It was like Jerry Springer at a bar, man.
Jerry Springer.
It's freaking great. But that was before I lived there or lived by there. And now that I live by there, I'm just, I get the free entertainment, but. Nope, I'm gonna go ahead and stay inside and watch some other drama on TV show.
I'll watch Maury on TV. Maury or Maury.
No, it's Maury. Yep, I still will throw that on. I will put on Jerry Springer. I'll put on Steve Wilkos.
Steve Wilkos. He used to be the bodyguard for Jerry Springer.
Yeah. I'm always gonna go back with my girl though, and I know my wife hates her, especially when I talk about her. Judge Judy.
Judge Judy.
Man, what a bitch.
I love her.
Damn it. The way that she lays down the law, oh my God, there's something about that, man. It's not like I'm turned on by it, but it's just, you got this lady who's probably maybe 5 feet tall, and she is the judge, the jury, and the executioner in a lot of those episodes, and it's just fucking great to watch. But I think that's like the whole reality TV that maybe our generation really sparked and started to get noticed out there, because another one, a local guy, Judge Joe Brown.
Joe Brown.
I'm sorry, he's not from here. It is Judge Greg Mathis. I met him before.
Mathis.
Yes, I met him before and his wife, and really cool guy, down to earth and just very chill. But watching all of those shows, it was like a 3-hour block. during the week.
No, that was the time you stayed home from school sick. You're watching Court TV.
Oh my god! But it was
came on right after Jeopardy.
yeah, right. It's weird to think about, and so this is strange. And I've had this request from my wife, and there was a point where we had Sling, and then we didn't have Sling, and then I requested to have it back. And I guess I had to try to figure out, like, why do I want Sling? But there's something about watching live TV.
Live TV, yeah.
And going through the channels or looking at a TV guide and seeing, okay, there's 20 minutes from now, there's going to be a show coming on that's going to last for an hour and a half with commercials. But there's something about, and again, this is just me being fucking old, and I know it is. There's something about that I find more appealing.
We just stream everything now.
Exactly.
We have it all on demand.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Look at this. This is a fucking computer in our pocket.
Yes.
We never had this.
We never had that.
We had to go buy a physical TV guide.
I remember getting off of school and be like, hey, Pokemon's going to be on at 4 o'clock or 4:30. Like,
You're right.
All right, guys, we'll do this basketball game, but I got to be home. Pokemon's going to be on. Like, or fucking like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or whatever the fuck it is. I was like, dude.
Yeah.
Everything's on demand now. What the fuck? And now, man, I do miss that.
Yeah.
It was something you could look forward to.
But that's why I still have Sling. It is a great streaming service, don't get me wrong. They do have things. So on Sling TV, this is why I love it too. They have different dedicated channels. We no longer have, used to be G4 TV or Gamers 4 television, and then it went to, trying to think what G4 TV went to, but anyway, it was a network that was dedicated to just video games. Every single day, all day long, they reviewed games.
Yeah, G4 TV?
Yeah, they played games, but it was something after G4 TV, and I can't remember exactly what it was. But we always had some kind of channel for it, right? And
yeah, because I had Comcast or Xfinity. Well, I guess whatever. It was Comcast, obviously, first. You go down, scroll down, it'd be like G4 TV, games. Oh, shit.
Yeah, but obviously, that's gone. But on Sling TV, they have, for me, 3 dedicated channels that's just for video games. So it could be somebody playing or streaming a video game. It could be recapping a game that's coming out or a reviewing of a game. They have like IGN TV. And then if you want something more specific, I love restoring old cars and classic cars and stuff. They have a couple channels for that. And then if I don't find anything that fits my needs, that's when you got the other streaming services, right? Or you got just something like nowadays, YouTube, right there. We can watch the relaxing oceanscapes.
Oh, yeah, that Nemo-looking fish.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, whatever the hell you want to watch, there's something that you can do. But it's just something weird about having Sling and having a TV guide and setting times to watch something is...
You're like, oh, yeah, dude.
Makes me feel old.
Feels like not too long ago.
It was a little long ago.
And to think about...
It was like probably over 20 years ago.
I feel like we're paying more for streaming than we are for fucking just regular cable now.
Depends. I think that honestly all depends, because if you just have 1 or 2, because I think if you get something like YouTube, I don't know what your dedicated streaming service is. If you were to compile a lot of them, we'll say 5 or 6 different streaming systems or programs, services into one, you may bundle on what it would be for, let's say, DirecTV back in the day with an HBO or Cinemax package. But you had HBO, you did have Cinemax, you had Stars, Encore.
I wasn't rich enough for that. I never had HBO.
No, neither did I. Neither did I. But they would have like maybe a free weekend or a free week that you could watch.
I just had the regular fucking basic cable, dude.
Right.
Like, that my mom barely could afford for. I mean, now I have HBO Max, I have Hulu, I have Disney Plus, and what else do I got?
Do you have ESPN?
ESPN Plus, yeah. And
Paramount Plus?
Paramount Plus.
Peacock?
Peacock, I use Chris's.
Shout out to Chris. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for logging in for me. And now I'm forever on Chris's Peacock account. It's funny. My profile photo is Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec.
Didn't get into that show much. I did watch it, but no.
I liked it.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
What do I want to talk about? Shit. Oh. What's going on future-wise? Oof. I don't know. Going on vacation in July?
Yeah, say hi to Mickey Mouse for me.
No, I won't be there for Mickey Mouse. I'll be there for the Transformer robot at Universal Studios. I'm gonna drink me some butterbeer. Have my Miami Vice, I don't know. We'll do that. I'll be in Florida for the hottest fucking summer of the fucking month. Or hottest month of the fucking summer, sorry.
I think you'd be fine, though. You made it through worse.
As a redhead, with
I know, pale-ass skin. Just put on, SPF 200. You'll be fine.
I'll just wear a hoodie.
Jesus. You'll be passing out. Pure exhaustion.
Nah.
You'll be doing a lot of walking. You will be in Florida.
A lot of walking.
I don't know. Florida, is that the Sunshine State?
Yes.
What's the slogan? Okay,
it is
yeah.
Sunshine State.
Riddled with old retirees.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of power wheelchairs, I'm sure.
What else? Man, it's going to be fun. I was really hoping that Mario World would be open by then, but I think they're not opening until next year. That's where you do the Mario Kart stuff. And, yeah. My sister wanted me to get her some for Mario World, but I'm like, probably won't be open. Yeah, do you plan on doing anything as far as Comic-Con this year?
We're not doing anything for media. If we are to go down there, we're probably going to have to figure that out pretty soon, huh? Because that's only a few weeks away. I know Chris will be in town for it. Do I have any push to go down there? No. Not saying that I'm out of the convention circuits to where I just don't care. I do. I still want to. If there was a push for me, it would probably cost me about $150 to $200 to take photos and get autographs with Cortana and Master Chief. But besides that, that's going to be about it. And I don't even know if spending that very short time with those two people, the one actor and the one actress who portray those characters, is it going to be worth the time, money, and effort to go down there? Meeting them is not going to make me sleep at night. It's just going to make me lose a little bit more money. It's going to be a cool experience, saying they got a chance to meet somebody, get an autograph, get a picture. Maybe I'm just one of those people to where it just doesn't appeal to me.
I just want to go there because I know there's a lot of really cute, nerdy chicks there.
So you're trying to pick up on someone.
Yes.
And you probably want to be like, hey, Steve, let's do media this year.
I know you're a married man. I'm sorry, but I'm looking at, there's going to be a lot of cosplayers there. Maybe a lot of Cortanas for Mr.
Sure.
Nate.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of cosplay going on.
For Cortana cosplayers for Mr. Nate.
We used to cover that convention quite a bit. And ever since COVID, it's been up and down, but life gets very busy. And it gets so busy sometimes that you don't get a chance to do things that you once enjoyed. And I would still love to go out and do it. Maybe next year, the year after, be more of a bigger push to go on out there. But it's a lot of time dedicated to going out and doing media at a convention like that. Because I'm not just the standard, you get the press pass and you're basically just flight on a whim, right? You're doing a lot of research, a lot of article digging. And for someone like me, if I'm going to interview somebody else, right? Big actor, no-name actor, writer, artists,
Yeah, you got to do
creative.
your research.
Exactly, because I don't want to ask the person the same questions that gets asked every single time. And a lot of these people, if they're on a Comic-Con convention circuit, they're going to be on the road for multiple months or even weeks put together throughout the course of the year.
I'm looking at this celebrity list. The actress who played Bo-Katan, Kate Sackhoff's going to be there. I think that's how you pronounce it. Got Helen Hunt from Twister.
With a screening, I do believe. They're all sold out now, but I think they were doing a screening of the new Twister movie with her being there at the convention.
Oh, Twisters 2. Oh, I know.
Twisters.
Or Twisters.
Yeah, plural now.
Plural. William Shatner, which I'm sure he's charging way too fucking much. Obviously, Steve Downs. Big one. Huge one. What's his name? I can never pronounce his name right. Giancarlo Esposito. Mainly known from Breaking Bad and Mandalorian.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. I don't know. If Chris asked me, I might go. I'm not gonna pay a lot of money. I just really want to walk around. I might spend some.
I got one for you.
Tom Kenny's gonna be there again.
Yeah, maybe you could buy another beer.
Buy me another beer. Oh my god.
Yeah, you talk about some memories, huh? Yeah, that was fun.
Dang, I wonder if he'll remember me. Probably not, because I was wearing face makeup at the time.
But you know what? He might not remember you and the conversation that you had, but I still have the pictures on that phone. I can guarantee you, if we were to stand in line, say, hey, Tom Kenny.
I still have a photo of us.
Tom Kenny,
Yeah.
you remember about 6 years ago at the after party? You remember talking to these people?
Yeah.
That's us without face paint.
I'm sure he would. He'd be like, oh, I remember talking to these guys with face
A
paint.
bunch of clowns that thinking we're ICP lovers.
Yeah, everybody thought we were fucking ICP, fucking
Juggalos.
juggalos, and I hate juggalos.
Oh, my man Angus Oplong. Miss you.
Angus Omblong.
Hopefully he's doing well.
Yeah. So Tom Kenny's there, so if I do, I'll probably go up to the booth and be like, do you remember me? And show him the photo. Maybe he might give me a free photo. I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably.
I don't think in the line
He did buy me a fucking beer. Come on.
But you got to think of it though. If you're in line trying to get a free photo, then what about the guy before you?
Yeah, the guy,
or the guy
yeah.
after you that just paid or has to pay, right? When we're there at the after party, it wasn't even something that we reached out and like, oh, how about you buy us a drink? Nothing like that. We were just all hanging out, having fun, and he made the offer. He was out of beer, so he went, he was out of a beverage, went and got himself some more. I know he works with Nickelodeon, Kid Show, and all that kind of shit, but he's just like everybody else. Just like every actor, actress, human out there. Not saying he has vices. But
And the thing was, I brought up to him, I was like a show that no one ever brought up to him.
Brinkleberry?
That he was excited to talk about.
everybody knows him as SpongeBob.
SpongeBob, yeah. And he even told me, he was like, dude, he's like, everybody's been talking to me about SpongeBob. He's like, what are you drinking? And I'm like, I don't know, Bud Light? He's like, all right, I'll get you Bud Light. And I didn't really think it would come back. And he came back.
I thought that was his way of, and this usually happens with celebrities or people that, I don't want to say don't want to be in that situation, but maybe they don't want to just talk. It's like, oh yeah, I have to go use the bathroom. Or yeah, how about we get you a beer? I'll be right back. Go, and they never fucking come back, right? But yeah, not even 2 minutes later, brings it around for everybody. Yeah, nice ass dude.
Tom Kenny was a stand-up fucking dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Jen Taylor, obviously Cortana. George from Cheers. Tom Wilson. He was the bully from, what is that, Back to the Future. Oh, come on. What's his name canceled? Ron Perlman. Who's Ernie? Oh, Ernie Hudson. He's the Ghostbuster.
Yeah, we interviewed him before.
Did we? Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Obviously, Giancarlo Esposito is probably the biggest one. I would think so. Oh, William Shatner, but I'm not a big fan. Hayden Panettiere. It sounds so familiar.
Let me see. Nope, no idea. Remember the Titans.
Bug's Life. Mm-hmm. I swear I heard her name like a million times about something. She's hot.
Just so you know, you can go up and talk to them. You don't have to pay money.
Good.
I know sometimes they don't like that, but...
Oh, Helen Hunt, too.
The Twister lady.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah, I already said that. My bad. Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about?
No. I think we're good.
I think we're good, too. We're sitting just over 2 hours of unedited goodness. I'm going to see how these multiple recording devices all sound next to each other. I think we did have a little bit of audio issues there at the very beginning. Sounds like that they were fixed throughout the course of the end of it. Again, it's on a different, older mixing board, and I'm glad to lug around the 2-port mixing board instead of my standard 8-port mixing board. But that's going to change when Chris comes out, or possibly these, I guess you can call them lapel microphones that we're using right now. The quality is going to sound great on them.
You guys are coming out to Hollywood.
Yeah, coming out to Hollywood. And there was no major accident when I went into the main intersection.
Good.
Yeah. I was, one of the last times I was out here, I was greeted by a nice 3 cars.
Everybody's trying to go to Wendy's at the same time.
I don't know what the hell was. I think it was a full moon the last time I came out. It was a lot of fucking problems. But anyway, everybody out there, thank you for watching. Much appreciated. Make sure you guys visit the website, everydaygamesociety.com, or also EGSProductions.com. We finally got that. After many of years of waiting on EGSProductions.com, we finally got the web address.
Thank you. Happy birthday to me.
Yes. Happy birthday to you, Mike.
Yes.
I hope you have a good rest of your day. Your home entertainment center looks nice.
My home entertainment. How did my bathroom look?
Lovely. Yeah, I did not see any faces in the mold like last time. But I did sit... Okay. So we went out, we had brisket, right?
Yes.
I don't want to say it was floating in grease, but you can definitely tell that like there's a sheen.
Yeah,
on
there
the
was a
pan
film. There was
and
a film
all over the meat.
Yeah.
And I knew when I had that first bite, like this is not going to come out good.
No, greasy brisket never turns out.
Yeah. So I did blow up your bathroom.
It's fine. It was. I went in there after you. It was fine.
Oh yeah, trust me, I know. I flushed it 3 times.
You flushed it 3 times.
Yep.
Okay.
So I pitched my loaf about halfway, stop, flush. Wait, continue to go, stop, flush, and then the third time I went to go wipe my ass. There's no fucking toilet paper.
There is. There was a full roll on the fucking
There
side.
was a half roll on the kitchen countertop. That
Yes!
I had to like swing my entire body.
I just haven't thrown away the empty roll because I need to put a plastic bag into the garbage can.
Well, sorry, I threw the roll in the garbage can.
It's fine.
But,
I'll fix it.
Like it was a horrific mess. Like after lunch came out. And I look over, there's like one little ply left, like, oh no.
No, there's like,
Then I looked over a little bit more, I was like, oh, sweet Jesus. So I had to switch everything around. But yeah,
Mike, help!
I was about ready to yell your name throughout the apartment and say, we got an issue.
I just bought not paper towel. That would be bad, but
Toilet paper.
toilet paper.
Yeah. It's no longer COVID. You can actually buy that kind of stuff now
Yeah,
on
I know,
a store
man.
shelf and find it.
Yeah, dude.
Might be $30 for a 6-pack, but
It is pretty expensive.
everything's fucking expensive.
I love how we use something we're just going to throw away and it costs us $30.
I showed you my lunch that I got. So I did that weight loss challenge. I went down from 215 down to 182. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to celebrate, and I finally celebrated. I bought those 2 large pizzas, and I had that stuffed cheese bread.
Jesus Christ.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How much do you think that costed me? Delivered to the door.
$45.
No.
How much?
$65.
Oh my God.
$65.
I bought a large pizza for Domino's, literally right down the road before the railroad tracks. And I got me a large pizza. I think it was just like a couple toppings on it and some wings delivered to my house. It was like $45 fucking dollars. What the fuck? What kind of time are we living in?
A time of inflation, my friend. That's exactly what it is. When a gallon of milk costs about 2 gallons of gas, it's a bit much. Gas station that I drive by every single day, or at least 5 days out of the week, $4.99 for a gallon of gas. It's not California high prices to where it's $6 or $7 or more a gallon, but $4.99.
Going for the premium, huh?
That's unleaded.
Unleaded.
That's not diesel. That's not mid-grade. That's not premium. That's not the super, whatever the hell it is. No. I don't even want to know how much it's going to be for premium gas.
I paid $3.89. I just put $20 in my gas tank because I was like, I don't want to fucking spend, because Alex is obviously right by the freeway. They're always going to overcharge.
Sure.
So I was like, okay, next time I'm at Meijer or, at Citgo, whatever, I was like, I'll fill up. But yeah, $3.89 was fucking expensive today.
I remember when $20 used to last me about, a week and a half, 2 weeks, when gas was pretty cheap, right? And now $20 will not even fill up my car halfway.
COVID, I filled up my tank with $13. Remember when it was at 99 cents or $1?
I don't remember when it was that cheap during COVID, but I do remember it being a lot cheaper because you weren't allowed to be on the road except for someone like us because we were essential workers.
Yeah.
And we had a little piece of paper that from the state that says, oh, you're allowed to drive on the road.
Yeah, I had the piece of paper. They're like, keep this in your wallet, guys, just in case you get pulled over to make sure you're an essential worker.
I had mine laminated that would hang right above the driver, and I had a spare one above the passenger sun visor. Because, if you got pulled over, and I never got pulled over, they weren't extremely heavy on that rule. But there were times reading in the local paper of people being out at the courtyard or people being at a park, and they're not even allowed to be outside. And I'm thinking to myself, God, people can't even fucking go walk around? I mean, what kind of a time is this? And then you look online, you see the streets of, I remember looking at the streets of New York, you just see fucking papers flying.
Yeah.
Steam from the sewers. No cars, no people, nothing. Crazy fucking time. Crazy time.
And it was funny. You throw a party, you get fucking cited. You have too many people over your house.
Yeah.
Yep. Cops cub. You're done. Jail. Directly to jail.
Yep. You do not pass go. You do not collect $200. But we're past that point now. And it would be nice to have a break, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. Now being years after COVID, and
I swear to fucking God, it was less than $20. I filled up my tank. I was like, what the fuck world am I living in? That was fucking wild.
To see the price jump the past 5 years, that has been wild on everything. I don't know if there has been one thing that I have used from 5 years ago to today where it has gone down in price. I'm probably going to say no. And if I think of something, I'll text you later on. But as of right now, there's nothing I can think of 5 years ago that was cheaper than what it is today.
I was tipping. I was doing carry out before work every day. I was tipping probably the same amount as I was paying just because they needed the money. They're not making money. They're not making tips. And I'm like, they're over here. They're still working. And I had the money. I had way more than enough money to tip them that.
We couldn't go out and do anything.
Yeah.
You basically, you go to work, you come home.
Hey.
You can't go out anywhere. You can't go out to a restaurant. You can't go out shopping. You can't get fucking gas. Well, I mean, you could, right?
But, yeah, you could do all like the essential stuff, but it's like you can't go out and fucking enjoy yourself.
No. So you just collected money.
Yeah.
Or unless you had a really bad Amazon habit and just order nothing but packages all day, every day.
Assholes. I'm kidding.
Yeah, you working in your field, I can see how that would be like, how dare you use an online service?
No, that was how they did it, and that's where I made all my money. So God bless you guys. My body is never the same, but it's fine. It's that's where I made all my money. And then everything skyrocketed once everything opened it up. Next election, vote the right fucking way.
Oh, Jesus. This is what happened the last podcast we had. It was like right at the tail end, the politics started coming out. I was like, oh, God. Hit the edit button.
Oh, just how were you guys the last president versus the that's how I judge it. Like, how was I doing during this election versus the yep. So, I know you're gonna edit it out.
I'll keep that part in because that was a very G response, or that was a very G thing to say.
Yeah.
Not like G, like homie G, good. That was like a very G-rated response versus the more colorful responses that I normally get on this topic.
Yeah. Vote on how you're doing versus how, that's how I do it. Doesn't matter which, I guess, what do you call them? Democratic race? I don't know.
No, you got Democrat, you got Republic, you got third party, liberal. There's so many things of classification, right?
Yeah.
If you guys want change or if you don't want change, still go out, still vote.
Yeah.
If you're not going to go out and vote, then you probably shouldn't bitch. And of course, you can always bitch. You got that constitutional right. I get that. But don't get in a fist fight with somebody just because you're a Republican and they're a Democrat. We got bigger problems to worry about in America. We got bigger problems to worry about as a society and people not getting together. And it's so stupid when I hear about those kind of problems and issues and situations, and they shouldn't even come up in the first place. I don't give a shit just because somebody voted this way, and I don't give a shit because someone voted this way.
Yeah, we're all Americans. I don't give a fuck. You're American. Vote whatever the fuck way you want. And that's what it is. That's why I live here. So,
God bless America.
And I probably have no choice. Because Canada probably costs too much for me to move there.
What you want, though?
No.
The further up you go, the more colder it gets.
Yeah.
Start traveling south, but be like the fucking geese,
He's
man.
like, go to Mexico.
I say go to Mexico. How about you try a different state? Get out of Michigan for a little bit. Try a different state. Don't go to California. I heard the taxes and everything are really, really bad out there. I hear Texas is nice.
Texas, and I would love to go there.
I love Texas myself. It's very beautiful. One thing I will say, pro tip, always have an air conditioner.
Yes.
Air conditioner in your vehicle or air conditioner where you live. Because without that,
they
sticky.
don't tax you on something. I forget, but it's like, that's why everybody from like California is moving to Texas. And it's like,
there's a lot of differences. A lot of differences between the governments, between California and Texas.
definitely. I mean, look at that. How many homeless people in California?
Oh, there's a lot in Texas too. Really, there's a lot everywhere you go, but I've never been over to California to see it firsthand, to see how bad it is. The areas that I've been in Texas, yes, there are a lot of homeless people. They have tried to fight me for my food, and there has been those times. Very wild.
They're trying to fight.
But as long as you're going to respect their area, just go ahead and throw a slice on the ground and fucking run. You got 12 slices or 8 slices in a pizza. You can afford to lose 1 or 2 if you need to get the zombies off from behind you.
Dude, it's like,
Because they're all loaded up on meth or God knows what else, so they can outrun you, right? I mean, they're like fucking superhumans at that point. No. There's good homeless people and bad homeless people, just like there's good regular people and good regular bad people.
I wonder, because we just had the draft of Detroit.
Oh, man. I don't know why there were so many cops out for that day. I don't know if it was just because the draft was in our state, in a different city, or it was just they needed to meet a quota or something, but
Everybody flooded Detroit, man. Like,
I drove about 20 miles one way, and I probably saw 20 fucking cop cars. 1 cop car for every mile.
damn.
There was a lot of people pulled over. I'm sure Detroit was going through and having their own riots when the Lions made it so far close to the Super Bowl. I would have loved to have been down there.
Yeah, they
just
made
to
it
see
to
how
the
hopping it was.
made it to the NFC Championship. So close to winning.
And yet, so far.
So far, yes.
Maybe the Pistons and the Wings will do better this year.
Well, Wings and Pistons are out of it. So we got my Florida Panthers. Sorry, Chris. I know they're playing your Bruins, but we're up 2-1.
So you think the Bruins are not going to go through?
No. Panthers are going to fucking smoke them.
Last time I was texting with Chris, he seemed rather upset over your team beating his team. I'm not going to tell you exactly of everything that he texted me to. You'll be seeing him soon enough, right? Y'all can get into your verbal arguments, and hopefully it's on the podcast.
Dude, Chris, did you see that fight against T. Chucky versus Pasta Pasternak? Fucking whooped your boy like it was his fucking job, dog. They agreed. They're like, hey, once the puck drops, we're fucking going at it. T. Chucky beat the fucking shit out of him, and the fucking refs had to step in. And then your boy acted like a little bitch and started hitting him while the fucking refs had him on the fucking ground. What a fucking punk, dude.
This is why we need to have contact sports in every sport.
Yes.
It's okay to have a little bit of fighting in every sport.
Hey, you get 5 minutes. Not a suspension. You get 5 minutes.
Yeah, just like 1 or 2 good punches. That's all you need, right?
Yeah.
It brings more people to the arena or people watching the broadcast. Yeah, it's a good all-around solution. Violence.
All right, you're suspended for 5 minutes. Sit in this box. After that, you're good.
I would still love to see, and I don't think they're ever going to do it. Maybe in our lifetime they will, but the same kind of sport, right? So let's talk about American football. You got 2 leagues of American football. You got the league of the NFL that is all tested, all approved, and then you got the league that is unapproved and riddled with steroids. You're allowed to take whatever the fuck you want.
Is that the XFL?
I don't know what you want to call that, or what it currently might be. But I think that would be, I don't want to say fantastic, but still regulated. Still, you're able to not be a superhuman or something where you're 5 times bigger than somebody else, but still get your blood work done, still do everything that you need to do, but have it be allowed in the sport. And I just want to see it on a competitive side-by-side by, all the people that are, I'm sure there's people in the league right now that are taking steroids, that should not be taking steroids, that are able to get past all of those testings. Allow them to openly admit, yes, I'm on steroids.
They should just let all athletes take steroids.
Thank you. They should. And if they say, no, we can't do that, okay, then split the divisions. Have one that's tested and have one that's not tested. I would love to see that in every fucking sport. Women's sport including. Every fucking sport. My question, you're probably going to not like this. Is it considered cheating? Say if I'm if a man, not me, obviously, but like someone else, say they're a man, they've competed in a sport, and then they decide to identify as a woman, compete in their sport. Is it offensive to me? Is that what you're trying to ask?
No, is it considered cheating?
Is it considered cheating? So my own personal opinion on it, this is going to be a fun one, right?
Yes, I knew it was going to be a fun one.
Yeah. So I'm one of those people that believe the certain chromosomes, or you're born to be a male or female, boy or girl. Then you grow up to be a man, or you grow up to be a woman. I also understand arguments and stuff that people want to switch genders. They want to identify as something else. I'm perfectly fine with all that stuff.
Yeah.
But when it comes to competitive sports, I do believe it should be within how they were born. And if not, let's say we're doing powerlifting, right? I'm a straight up dude. Mm-hmm. You're a dude that went to a chick. But we're in the same...
Wait, what?
No, hear me out. You're a dude that went to a chick, but we're in the same division because you were born a guy, but you're identifying...
You're a straight up dude. You're in the same division as dudes, right?
Correct.
I'm a dude that decided, I feel like I'm a chick today, so I'm going to go and transfer over and compete against these other women.
Hold on. But if we're in the same division, I'm a male identifying as a male. You're a male identifying as a female, but we're in the same division because we were both born guys. That is not cheating. if you were to flip that, to where you're born a guy, now going into a female group, and now let's say I'm a female and I identify as a female, and I've got the different organs and plumbing and all that kind of stuff. You coming over as a guy, having everything that guys have versus what girls don't have because of human anatomy and how it is, that is where I consider it cheating. The way that I see to get around that is by having that, we'll call it a unified division, to where it can be male and female. Doesn't matter. Put everyone together in, so tennis, for example, right? You can have the male league, you can have the female league, then you can have the non-binary league, or just all three leagues together. See what happens. See how many actual ladies born as a lady make it out on top versus a man that made it out on top, or somebody that transitioned to a man. There's going to be a lot of differences. There's going to be...
So, like, you were an MMA fighter, right?
Yes.
So you decide, hey, I decide my name is not Steve, it's Steve. Right?
Yeah, my name is now Stephanie, and I'm going to go fight this chick that weighs 120 pounds.
I'm going to go fight this chick who,
Is that fair?
Is that fair? Yeah. No.
That's why I'm saying no. No, it's not fair. I'm not saying like, oh, let's put in home cooking into some kind of sport. Oh, the lady's always going to win. That's not fair to say, right? And I'm not saying that to be a dickhead. I'm not even saying that to be my opinion. I'm just saying that this is how everybody likes to take it as. Do I see it as cheating? Yes, I do. And that's why I want to have some kind of a league of its own so they can be allowed to do that and compete, transgenders or whatever.
Non-binaries can fight their own non-binaries or whatever.
Well, don't say fight.
Not fight, but compete.
Only the strongest will survive, right? And then go on to the next round. But no, that's very true, because if we don't have three divisions, because we're going to become so divided at some points.
Yeah.
Then pull them all together to see what's going to happen. And then I think what we're going to happen is we're going to have to go back to those three divisions or go back to those two divisions. Yeah. But I do know what you're talking about, because there was a guy that identified as a power lifter, but him being a guy, he identified as a female.
Yeah.
He went in and crushed every record. And he still has the records. But since he is, born a male, identified as female, he still has the record in the female division. Is that fair? I don't believe that's fair at all. Because if I was a female, then I was trained to be a power lifter, and I
trained your entire
blood,
life,
sweat, tears. I trained my entire life 7 days a week, and I just bashed into it as hard as I could. And I am the strongest female power lifter there is. And then you're going to come over and slap on 300 extra pounds to my top deadlift, and you're going to beat me out, and now you have the record? No, man, fuck you.
Yeah.
Definitely take offense to it, and that's where it's wrong.
Yeah. And that was where I just kind of came across. We were talking about sports, and I don't know where female and male, but came across it. But I was like, I just wanted to see that, because it just doesn't make sense to me. I know it's a hot topic right now, but it's like, I don't mean to get all Tucker Carlson on you.
Stop watching Fox News, man. It's trumping your mind. Holy Lord.
It's trumping my mind.
Jeez.
No, it's just...
We're in a very weird time.
That's why I looked at you, because I knew you were an MMA fighter. And I'm like, obviously, you look at your wife. She's way smaller than you are. And it's like, women are built obviously different than males. Men have more bone density. They can build muscle better, or more, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a fucking biologist, but I was just like, I'm seeing all this fucking talk about, trans, LGBTQ, all this stuff. People, mixing into all these different sports. And I was like, dude, what the fuck is going on? And it's like, are they really not that... Are they that fucking stupid? Like... Men are obviously, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I think a better question would I be comfortable fighting somebody of the opposite gender in MMA when it comes to that, right?
Do you think you could beat Ronda Rousey in her prime?
Like when I was in my prime?
Yes.
We were both in our primes?
Yes.
Well, I would say yes, but that's also me knowing like her game and how it is and how you can really depict opponents. And use their strengths to their weaknesses.
Yeah.
More of a, I guess you can always say, you're a strategic fighter. But Mike Tyson says it best. Everybody has a plan until you get hit in the face, right?
Right.
Am I saying that I can take her on? Although that she was a professional. I was not a professional. I want to say I did still fairly good with everything that I was everything that I fought that was in front of me. However, let's say that there was a girl that was just like me, and her name was Stephanie, and she still weighed in at 185 pounds. But Stephanie's fucking jacked, right? Like, Stephanie's been juicing every single meal. It's not just Flintstone gummies and oatmeal. She's on the Hulk Hogan diet, to where you're hitting every vein and you're juicing up pretty good, right?
Yeah.
I still think that there's still competition there if one outweighs the other. But also, when it comes to fighting, I could say, yeah, I can kick Ronda's ass just because I'm taller, I'm bigger. She may have more skills than me, but still with fighting, with that sport, put it in context, it doesn't matter, because that kind of sport, one thing can happen. And I think Ronda found that out with a head kick from Holly Holm and, just derail their career, right?
Right.
But you can be the best at anything. But when it comes to fighting, yeah, I could be facing a 120-pound chick, and she can just clean my clock once, and just, boom, I'm on the canvas.
And I'm not saying anything against women, because I wrestled going to the school. So it's like, if we had girls that were, young women that would face us, and they would wrestle us, and they would honestly, I would see some of them actually put some dudes in their fucking place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not saying that. It's just but then they develop more, they get stronger, they obviously, I don't know, peak at their physical peak. Yeah. Is it fair?
But you also have some people that just have really good genetics. Mm-hmm. Really good genetics, right?
Did you see the photo of Brock Lesnar's daughter?
No, she just
Oh my God.
all jacked.
Holy fucking shit, dude.
But again, it's not just how you were raised. A lot of it is going to be genetics. So yeah, you can dabble in steroids and stuff as much as you want. Is it really going to help out and balance out the skill of the competition?
Yeah.
You pulling up a picture of her?
Yeah. Okay, she could kick my ass.
Yeah, she can. She can definitely fuck someone up in a bar fight. I'll tell you that.
She's the bouncer.
She's the bouncer in the club in Flint.
Fat boys.
But okay, I'll tell you this much. Me sitting here saying that, oh yeah, I can beat Ronda Rousey, but I don't know, because I'm not in that situation, right?
Right.
I will say that when I was training and doing MMA and I was fighting and doing that in the competition, I would typically walk around at 200 pounds. I would not have to cut a lot of weight.
And I think she was walking around at her peak at what? 130? I don't know what she was walking around.
Maybe.
Probably
She's a
less
lot smaller,
than that.
right? She's fun-sized.
Fun-sized,
I would only
yeah.
have to cut down maybe 15 pounds.
Yeah.
I would always fight at 185. When I would train with people, I would train with all walks of life, and I would want to go with people that were extremely heavy. So I would train with 300-plus pound people. It doesn't matter if they were jacked and built or they're just fat. But when you're doing jiu-jitsu, if you can get a 350-pound guy off you and mount him when he was mounting you, don't take that out of context.
No.
Then you're doing pretty good, because when you're fighting somebody at your own weight, you can just fucking toss them around like a rag doll, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't want to say fight, but I have trained and sparred with people of the opposing gender. It didn't matter if they were identifying as a lesbian or if they were straight, because a lot of them were lesbians. And more power to you. Enjoy it, right? Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
I can honestly say they would fucking beat my ass. They would beat my ass. And the reason why? They had skill. Or they had that weird strength that you just never know would come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
They had something about them that was just, they were fucking driven. It didn't matter how much that they were choked out, they were beat up, they got punched, they got knocked down. They always fucking got right back up there. And they will put a lot of guys to shame. So yeah, I think in competition there would be those girls that would kick the guys' ass. But if you're at that professional level, like I don't know, are you big in mixed martial arts right now? Like if I throw out a name, you might know.
I might, yeah.
Okay, well I'll throw out some older. Chuck Liddell
Chuck Liddell.
in his prime.
Yeah.
And then we'll go back to Ronda Rousey in her prime. You can ask that question. Two people in their prime from different generations within the same sport, who would win? And I'm sure a lot of people would go and say
Chuck Liddell.
Chuck Liddell's going to win. Now, if you take a little bit of size out of Chuck Liddell and make him 120 pounds or make someone still in the same weight division, still in the same weight class, could it be now a toss-up to where they're going to be comparable? They're both going to be about 120, 130 pounds.
Mm-hmm. So, like, say, I know a few new names right now. Charles Oliveira, he's obviously, we got, what's his name? Islam, who's Khabib's, I don't know, teammate. I don't know if they're related. They're obviously fucking just best pound per pound fighters in the world. John Jones, fucking crazy. But I don't know. It's just, yeah, I just don't think it's really fair. I mean, men have more testosterone, bone density, muscle mass. They have more agility. They're faster. It's just, biology.
That took us off on a weird fucking tangent for like a half an hour.
Yeah. I don't want to take that out.
I don't know how much of that we'll be able to keep in.
Yeah.
But no, you do bring up a good argument. And
yeah.
I do watch those videos and I listen to stuff, and that's the modern day, right? That's
before we both get canceled.
Yeah, I don't want to say go woke, go broke. I really don't give a shit about that kind of stuff. I'm really open-minded. We're in America, right? We have a constitutional right. It doesn't matter if you're not an American, you come over here
It's
in
like
the States.
Tucker Carlson subscribes. Like Donald Trump subscribes.
Oh, Jesus.
Dude, you'll blow up. That's all we talk about now.
Oh, so I can just open up this podcast and tie it in with Fox News and Republicans, and all of a sudden we're ahead again.
You'll be the new Alex Jones.
I'm good. I don't want that kind of publicity. I'm going to be Steve, and I think I'll just be fine. I've done it fine for years now, right?
Joe Biden's turning the frogs gay.
On the last podcast, did you hear me edit that part in?
Yeah, I did.
Right at the very end, like the last till seconds.
Oh, God. What was it? I said Obama, though, right?
No, you said Biden.
Biden.
Yep,
okay.
You did say Biden. But hey, spin around. Let's go back to this. So when I watch videos about this, what I do find hilarious and I do find awesome, and I will say fucking girl power to this kind of shit, when, let's say, a swimming competition or something, right? And there's 12 competitors and 11 are ladies and the one is a dude but identifying as lady. And when that dude still gets his ass kicked in that competition, you're goddamn right, man. Fucking girl power.
Yeah,
that's fucking
exactly.
great.
Yeah.
And if you are a man still identifying as a female, but you're a dude really inside, and you know that you are, but you're just doing it for publicity, and you get the shit kicked out of you by a female, how are you gonna feel?
Yeah.
Let them have their own fucking divisions.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm tired of it.
I was going to make an analogy, but it sounds so inappropriate.
Yeah, so we're not going to do that. We'll wait till everything gets shut off.
You saw that Johnny Knoxville movie where he went into the Special Olympics and gets his ass kicked?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume, like, hey, that male probably feel like that. That sounds so fucking bad when I say it out loud.
I have a lot of thoughts that I keep to myself for that reason.
Oh, God. He's like, I'll save that for Mike's file.
Like, the drop down.
Blackmail.
Yeah. Blackmail folder. Mike, there he is.
Whenever Mike pisses me off, I have this file I can send to his employer.
Yep, I already have all your contacts and everything. All I got to see that send button. Game over.
Yeah, I'm at 2 inches. Now I'm at 1 inch. I'm about to push this button.
I'm done with hearing that shit. Quite honestly, I want people to get along, and this is This always makes me sound so fucking Miss America pageant bullshit. I just want people to get along. I'm tired of wars going on. I'm tired of people hating on other people just because of whatever small fucking reason there is. I'm just tired of it, man. I'm tired of walking down the road and having someone call me an asshole because I don't smile. Blame my fucking parents, okay? You know, I don't walk around, I don't smile like, oh, I'm having a great fucking day. Hee hee hee. No. I'm going to walk around, probably not smile and just look pissed off all the time. But yeah, I'm having a good time.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. I don't think it's going to change, but
it's going to get worse. I think it's going to get worse as time goes on.
Yep.
The more that people are allowed to sit inside and look at their goddamn phones and get sheltered in their own little universe about what I don't want to bring him up, but I'm going to do it anyway. Tucker Carlson, right? Well, let's say that you're watching him every single fucking day. Mm-hmm. You're going to probably start to become that person. You're going to have that person's values, or what they like and what they don't like is going to now become part of you. And just go out and do your own thing and try not to piss off too many people and make friends. Don't make enemies. Life is too fucking short to be pissed off and just, fuck you. You looked at me weird. Or you got blue eyes. You got red hair. Hey, red hair, go fuck yourself.
Hey, red hair.
Right?
Hey, red hair, could you move to the other table? Yeah. All right. I got
and your buddy Beard eat shit.
Hey, Beard.
It's just so stupid.
Like, what? Yeah, that threw me off a little bit. I'll listen to your buddy who's being nice. You obviously been day drinking, but
like I told you before we started the podcast, karma's a bitch. Yeah. Right? Something's gonna happen. If God is kind, He'll let us watch. But karma's a bitch.
Yeah.
Someone like that. I guess if it sounds too bad later on in the editing booth, then I'll take it out. But I think of someone like that who has a very miserable fucking life. They probably haven't got laid in a while. Maybe someone kicked their dog. Maybe he kicks the dog. Maybe he hasn't had too many drinks, or he hasn't had his fix, or he hasn't beat his wife, or too many bad things haven't happened to him yet to make him feel level out. So that's why he has a shit in your bowl of cereal, right? Because there's too much shit in his.
No, that's why I didn't say anything. I'll let him sit with that for a little bit and let them be like, oh, yeah, you heard the lady was like, oh, there's some nice people here. Let me buy you a drink.
We nicely declined her. You know, that's a very nice thing to do. But
let you sit with that comment for the rest of your day.
Well, I'm just thinking of, let's not get fucking trashed.
No, I was talking about that one dude. I was like, yeah, let him sit with that comment about my red hair. And I'm like, dude, I've lived with it my entire life. You can't say anything against me. I'm like, I don't fucking care.
I can guarantee you, he probably is not even going to think about it. Yeah. That kind of person probably just speaks their mind like that, and that's what makes him sleep at night.
Yep.
He's not going to feel bad about, man, I really shouldn't have, called him red hair. I should have called him a sir. Yeah, I shouldn't have thought that he was a ginger from Harry Potter,
What the fuck? You're going deeper into it. I didn't think he was, I should not think he was a fucking stepchild. Yeah. I shouldn't think that,
You know what? He's got a soul.
He's got a soul. I should not think he has a soul.
And really pale skin. Probably doesn't go out much. He is a human.
He is a human, just like us.
Dicks are gonna be dicks, man. It doesn't fucking matter.
Nah.
We both worked in.
I've heard it all, and I've heard.
Yes.
I've heard. Better for, or what's the word for?
Oh, the shit that I always say to people.
Yeah.
I've been called worse by better people.
I've called worse by better people. Yes.
I really don't care.
I don't care.
Nope. It's not going to make me lose sleep. If you want to call me whatever name you want, I'm probably going to answer to it because I've been called that about every fucking thing in the book, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to affect me at all. Not one bit. I really don't care less.
I think it was, yeah. It was the first time we really talked to each other. You called me Ginger, and I called you a nerdy hillbilly.
First I called you Snaps. Like Snaps. Like, yeah, man, Ginger Snaps. I remember the conversation.
And then
you called me a nerdy hillbilly because that was when I wore my fucking glasses. And
then that's when the relationship began.
Yeah, that's when it bonded and molded like cancer.
We're like, you know what? All right.
But it's funny on how things are, and I know Chris will talk about when he comes out here. But it's very weird on, I don't know if you're a person that believes that everything happens for a reason, but I do believe that certain people get placed in your life for a reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I met you, why I've stayed friends with you for so long, and for someone like Leo and Ricky and Sam and Jeff, and there's so many people there that I have met when we were all doing that same kind of thing together, just like Chris. I randomly met him when I was working security in another fucking state years ago, and I consider that guy a brother. Mm-hmm. And it's wild to think that he's coming out again, and he comes out once or twice a year, but we see each other, we talk to each other quite a bit. I've met his family, he's met my family, and it's a complete fucking stranger. I don't know what the hell he does. He could be having heads in his basement or something, in jars. You know, I don't know what the fuck he does on the side. I think he's a good person.
I think he's a good person. That's what I say when he stays at my place. I'm like, I think he's a good person. Steve stands up for him.
I don't think he's killed anyone. And I hope I'm not the first person.
And then I'm like, is Steve a good person? I don't know. Maybe Steve set me up. I don't know.
He always looks angry. He always seems like he knows something about me that could harm me in some kind of way.
You're like, is Steve plotting against me? I don't know.
No, but I'm not plotting against you. I think Chris is plotting against you because you're the one was like, well, I got a floor.
I got a deflated beanbag chair right over there.
It is more and more.
Do you got a blanket? No, but you got a jacket.
Yeah, you came in with the jacket, didn't you? In the middle of fucking winter. You're in there running your air conditioner because it's so hot in your bedroom.
Yeah, man, I'm cold. He's like, dude, what the fuck? Man, I'm just really hot. He's like, I'm freezing. No, Chris, I apologize. I do legitimately feel bad for that night. And I should have thought about you.
I wish I was here. I wish I was here just to be a fly on the wall, just to witness it.
He's like, I slept on a deflated airbag. He's like, I used my jacket as a comforter.
And that's why he's probably the one that's going to want to try to kill you. Or he's strategically planning that one of these times he comes out that we're never going to see Mike again. And he's the only reason, or he's the only person that knows why.
I picked you up, though, from that CD fucking train station in Detroit.
And I still don't know why he just didn't go local to where I could have picked him up, and it would have been a lot closer.
He could have went to Pontiac. He could have went to Lapeer.
He could have went.
He could have went to Flint, to where I didn't have to fucking drive that far. Honestly, Flint would have been better than that fucking CD fucking place in Detroit.
I don't know.
I honestly had this hoodie on, and I was throwing my hood up, and I was acting like a hard ass the entire time, like. Got my black rims, my black 200. I'm like, no, fuck with me. You guys know I'm a fucking gangster. Like, I'm just
Calm
like,
down there, Slim Shady.
Yeah, dude. I was like,
turf.
I was like trying to fucking make people like not fuck with me and like just throw up my hood and smoking my cigarette. And I'm like, motherfucker, yeah, keep walking, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's right. I killed people before. I ain't afraid to go back.
Chris, thank God you're here. Let's get the fuck out of here.
I beat myself twice, Chris. Let's go.
It was funny. We were leaving we were downtown Detroit. I leave there, and like someone stopped for me to go to leave, and I was like, "This fucking city's actually pretty nice." And I'm like, "Don't think about it. Don't think about it."
You stop at the next light. It's
yeah, they're actually you know how the
homeless guy is giving you money. He's like, "Oh, thank you for smiling. Here's $5." Like, what?
Homeless guy's giving me.
What kind of place is this?
I was like, you know how you see the videos of like Midwest Nice? They're like, hey, this is a 4-way stop. You got to let this guy go. And I'm like, I swear to fucking God, there was this guy in like a shady ass fucking black, fucking tinted out, but I could see him through the fucking windshield. He was like, oh no, you go. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, holy shit, Midwest Nice here in the fucking ghetto of Detroit.
Every place has its good place and bad place, right? Detroit, honestly, really isn't that bad. There are, again, areas of everywhere that you should go and you should not go. And it doesn't matter what color your skin is. It doesn't matter how old you are or young you are. It doesn't matter. Crime is going to find you if crime's going to find you. If it's that fucking time for you to get your ass beat or you to die or something, I'm sorry, there's not much I can do to say otherwise, right? That's why they say God has a plan. But if you're listening to this, then God has the right plan for you because you're still alive. Same with you, Mike. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
We went off on
It should be a celebration, not a disappointment.
I never said it was a disappointment.
No, I think that.
What, a birthday being a disappointment?
No, just like, yeah, another day older.
Yeah, and people do ask me, "When is your birthday?" And it's sometime this year.
So,
It's for that reason when I realized that, and I'm going to take this one from Joe Rogan, that you're old when your pubes turn gray. And that's so fucking true. And a birthday is just another day to where, yes, it is to resemble the day that you were brought onto this earth. And it's a majestic day and it should be filled with celebration. But when you come down to it, it's another day on this earth, and it's another identifier in my eyes that I'm just getting that much older. And, I could be over the hill right now. I don't care. Mid-30s could be just over the hill where I'm not going to hit it 50 where I'm going to live to be 100. I could fucking die on the way home going, and this podcast could never come out, or I could never see you again. Life is not guaranteed. It is what you make of it. So if you want to look at it, glass half empty of,
no, I don't.
yeah,
I mean,
it's my birthday. I live in an apartment by myself. I'm going to go piss on the neighbor's porch. Fuck those people, right?
I'll piss on their fucking welcome mat.
Right. Fuck you new people. Spit on their fucking window every morning when you walk by. Or it could be a glass half full to where it's like, you know what? I'm living in a place by myself. Got annoying neighbors that just moved in. I can't stand them. Rent's too much. But it's a nice day outside. The kids are outside in the courtyard. I'm going to grab a beer and a weapon and throw it at them and watch them fight.
And watch them battle to the death. That's how my life is. I literally just that's not what I did last year. I mean, I swear. I had the Dark Saber I found at Walmart, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I don't know why I bought it.
This looks like a great weapon for a kid.
And then the kids were actually battling down there. It was dark out. Was it too late? But I was out there. I was having a beer, and I was like, these kids are battling. I'm like, who wants the Dark Saber? And now all the kids are like, me. And then I was like, all right, guys. And I fucking tossed it down to I just saw them all fucking just fight for it. And honestly, the dad came up to me and he was like, thank you. He's like, that's awesome. And I'm like, he was a Star Wars fan. He was like,
right on. Good.
Yeah, the dad was like, gave me the thought. He's like, dude, you're fucking awesome. And I'm like, dude, I have this Dark Saber just sitting in my apartment. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to let them beat the shit out of each other with it.
Hey, kids, you want a Spice Girl poster? Start giving away random shit from your apartment. Here's a table.
Here's a fucking table.
So is that your old coffee table that your TV and shit used to be on?
No.
Where did that come from?
That came from...
Find it in the garbage or something?
No. I don't remember where it came from. It used to actually be in my old bedroom in my... Shit. It sat underneath my coffee table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was underneath the coffee table before I put my new entertainment center. Thank you to my brother for my birthday gift. I got a brand new entertainment center.
Looks very modern.
Yes, and I'd put that under there, but yeah, I had that for some reason.
The new entertainment center really blends in well with your bare ass walls. The only thing hanging on your wall is a 1983 thermostat behind your TV there.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
It doesn't?
Well, I guess it does.
But you have another one in the hallway though, right?
No.
No? Okay. Well, yeah, it probably works.
Yeah. Because when they came in, they're like, do you use your thermostat? I'm like, I don't know if it works. And I'm like...
Well, if you don't freeze your ass off during the winter months, then it should work.
Yeah, that's all.
Don't ask Chris, because it sounds like it doesn't work.
I just have the AC unit in my bedroom.
Yeah, that's got to be a bitch and a half to get stuff like out here cold. I'm sure if you put a fan there and blow it from your room out here, maybe about an hour, it'll get pretty cold.
I moved here in the middle of July 2 years ago, and my AC unit went out on me. It was very old, and it was like spewing out weird shit. It was like, and it would make like a clown noise, like a clown horn. And then I would always get scared.
You're always waking up with weird clown dreams and you're soaking wet with some kind of fluid.
So I drove over to the local Ace Hardware and I bought that fan. I was like, I can't fucking live in here. I'm going to die. So I bought that fan and then called the property manager. Brand new fucking AC unit. Comes with a remote, tells me how hot it is, has a temperature control and everything on it.
I do miss the apartment life. I love being a homeowner. I can't even fucking talk. But yeah, the apartment life. Like if that light bulb goes out, hey, light bulb went out. Within a day, someone comes change it out for you. Now for me, light bulb goes out. Okay, put the new light bulb in. God damn it, doesn't work. Oh, just found out that the entire light fixture just burnt out. So I have to trace all the wiring and all the, everything's on there.
Oh.
Yeah. So being a homeowner, it's fun. I honestly, I love it. But there are those times that I do miss
I don't
it.
have to shovel my driveway, mow my lawn.
Yeah, you don't have to mow your lawn. You don't have to worry about picking out weeds. You
No.
don't have to worry about landscape, just as far as like maintaining a sidewalk, like all the front stuff that's happening with your porch.
Yeah.
We're doing everything for you, man.
Yeah, they're redoing the catwalk.
Your bathroom no longer has
The moldy or mildew.
well, it still has mold. It's just got paint over it now.
No, they took it all out. I watched them.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they did. All right.
All right, it's probably moldy.
Yeah, they just put some more paint on the walls, and we're gonna need to do 5 coats now. Just
I
get
swear to
those
fucking
dots
God,
out.
I swear, because like 2 weeks in, I started seeing like mold in there.
Brother, I've been seeing mold since I've been coming here. Since I've been coming here, there's like, you would notice a face on the wall that would be molded in almost like the entire country of the United States with all the different states. There's so much in there. It does look nice. They did a very good job.
All right. Yeah, they told me to keep the window open when I shower so it doesn't get moldy again. Mm-hmm. He's like,
Are you going to do that?
yes,
think
I
you
always
will.
do.
I know, because you would leave here, and although you're on the second level, I guess I wouldn't be comfortable with it, leaving that fucking window open, but you're just like, oh yeah, who's going to climb up in there?
Yeah, who's going to climb to the second level, break into my house?
You never fucking know, man. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
You never know. Never know.
Yeah, because here. That's when I first moved in. See any mold?
That's when you first moved in?
Yep.
You're shitting me.
2 weeks later, there was a big old thing of mold.
Maybe I see a little spot starting right there.
Oh, yep, that's the one that started.
Yeah.
That was the...
Yeah.
And it started breathing. And then it just started, taking a life of its own.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was fucking... The mold was moving. You could be sitting there taking a shit and just seeing it spawn slowly across the wall. Oh, and by the way, next time that they're over, have them fix your toilet. So that when you sit on it, it's not like a fucking recliner, like...
Wobbly.
A little wobbly. You twist a fucking ankle getting off that thing, man. Jesus. I'm surprised it hasn't broken right off the floor yet.
I know. I was at my brother's house. I'm like, his toilet doesn't wobble. Something's wrong with it.
The air smells so much cleaner over here. You're not shitting in a moldy room. But I'm really surprised there's not an exhaust fan, because there's not one in there, right?
I just got the window.
It's got the window, but there should be an exhaust fan or something. But it's not my apartment complex. Still has the old shelving from the 70s, so that can use an upgrade at some point.
Yeah, this place is old, but you know what?
It's home.
It is home.
I will say that your place, although they were talking shit about it, was a lot better than the garage that I lived in. I was living in Mother Nature, my friend. I'd be taking a fucking shower and have a 3-foot gardener snake be at my feet.
Oh my
And
God!
I have my contacts and shit out, and I'm like, what is that? And I step on it, it slithers and runs away, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh no! Oh my God! That is my worst nightmare.
So, again, we may be talking shit about your place of living, but it was better than the garage that I was living in.
You have a gardener snake in your bathroom or your bathtub?
Oh, bathroom. Yeah, it was, all right, so you remember it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
I remember because it was really high to get into your
Yeah, it was, you had to have like a 36-inch vertical leap just to get into that fucking bathtub. But when you're standing there, you're obviously like 3 foot off the base level, so you're doing a big jump down. But I'm legally blind without my contacts on, so we can have the phone, how you can see 733, right? I would have to hold it this close in order to see it. So I can't see what the fuck is underneath me. I knew that there was something there that I didn't remember being there, but when I put my foot down and my foot touched it and it was soft and it started to slither away.
Oh no! Oh my God!
Yeah. When I moved in, every single day I was probably getting 6 mice for about a week. And then I thought, oh, that's just because I moved in. You know, the owners or previous people that lived there before, yeah, they didn't really take care of it. And no, that happened every single year, every fall. Because what would happen is it was next to swamp. It was right behind a large couple acres of farm fields before it broke out into more acreage of farm fields. So everything that was outside, when it started to get cold, came inside.
Came inside. They saw the warm place.
Yeah, so you're living with Mother Nature, for sure. There were a lot of problems with that place, but again, like this, it's a place you call home. It's great that you can go home and hang your hat. You don't wear hats too much. I mean, you do. You got a slew of them over there, but
Yeah.
you know what the expression is. That's where you hang your hat. That's where you can kick off your shoes and just kind of relax.
Yeah.
And that's what home should be. And all that it was a garage, and yeah, you had to worry about fending off with rats or getting bit by snakes or large ass spiders.
Probably while the snake was in there trying to fucking get himself a rat. Or
Probably.
something.
Yeah, probably.
And try to get warm. Be like, hey, there's rats in here too. Hey, other snake buddies, come on in. Like,
I'm going to lay some eggs right here in the corner. He won't find them.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, the one room, I didn't know this, but we ended up having to redo the foundation in that one room.
It was haunted.
Yes, and it was haunted, so that was a plus. Like random shit happening in the night, stuff being knocked over, stuff being moved from one room to another, just very strange shit. And, you know, there was just weird things that always seemed to happen at that place. But I could have looked at it as, man, it's a fucking garage. It's hot as shit during the summer. It's cold as shit during the winter.
But it's home.
Exactly. It's fucking home. A lot of times I would go there and take all my clothes. Well, I would go in, lock everything up, all the shades and everything. Take all my clothes off. Just walk around the rest of my day fucking naked. But no one's going to come, bother me. Now, out in the middle of fucking nowhere in the goddamn country.
That's my day during before work. I'm like, you know what? No one's here.
Yeah. I'm going to listen to my music. I'm going to play my records. I'm going to listen to whatever I want to listen to. I'm going to watch whatever I want to watch. And nobody can tell me shit.
Yeah. I can throw whatever I want, throw my clothes wherever I want.
I miss those days.
Yeah.
Being able to walk around naked all the time. I do.
It's a great time.
It is a great time to free ball it. And then I think of all the times that I've sat on that couch naked.
Oh my God, I have a story for you.
Is it about the garage?
No, it's about being naked.
Oh, here we go.
So, oh God, I don't remember why she came in. She called me the day before. She was like, my new property manager. Her name, well, I shouldn't say her name, but nice lady. And just be safe in case she listens to your podcast. But very nice lady. And then I get an email that day like, hey, please welcome the new, they're called community manager. She manages all the apartments here. And so she called me the day before. She's like, hey, I want to take a look at this. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. I got to work at, wait, no. It was like, hey, there's a major leak. And then she was like, oh, not in my apartment, but in the one under me.
What kind of leak? Like natural gas or?
No, like water leak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then she was like, I don't think it's coming from yours. Don't worry. And then I was like, yeah, I'm getting ready for work right now. I should leave soon. And then hopped in the shower. I'm showering. And I didn't know she was coming in. And so I'm naked, showering, getting ready for work. And then I just hear two ladies talking. Oh, in my room, and I'm like, oh my God, they're in my fucking apartment. And then I'm like, luckily you can't see anything because I have like a dark, shower curtain. I'm like, hello, and I'm like, hey God, and then I was like, please just leave for a second so I can get dressed. So I don't know if they went and saw me or whatever, but it was just weird, and I was like, this is a weird way to meet my new community manager. And she was so nervous after I got dressed. I didn't even finish. I was covered in soap, and I was just rushing to get everything on. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I thought you'll be at work, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, this is a weird way to meet you. Nice to meet you, so and so.
That's a pet peeve of mine. When people walk in through a door and they don't knock.
Yeah,
Especially a front door.
Yeah.
A front door that's closed, that's locked, or even not locked. But before you go in, if that's not your place of residence,
yeah.
what's a harmless knock gonna do? Nothing. It's gonna notify people that, hey, someone's at my front door. And you're gonna hop out of the shower and clean yourself up instead of walking around with little Mike. Why didn't
hold
hands
around?
Yeah.
And you never know when people are doing, they could be whatever. And it fucking pissed me off. And I was like, what the fuck? And I told her, like, hey, okay, if you do need to get in, just please give me a call. I have my phone. I put my phone in my bathroom. I got it near me at all times. And I'm like, I am very attentive. And I'm like, hey, I work afternoons, I work nights. I always keep my phone near me. It wakes me up right away. I'm a light sleeper. So, like, she never called that day. So, literally, I'm in the shower. And I always shower with my door open. I don't know why. It's because I'm fucking paranoid. Oh, shit.
You're by yourself. Why do you have to shower with the door closed?
I don't know.
Yeah, no one else going to see it. I do the same thing.
I always keep it open. I don't know why. It's just a weird thing. It's like, it's one of my things like, hey, I can walk around my house naked. I can shower with my door open, right? So, and then, she did that. They all waited outside. I got ready. I got them back in. And I'm just like, I'm nervous. She's nervous. I'm like, oh my God, you fucking scared the living fucking shit out of me because this is a fucking nightmare thinking that people broke into my fucking house while I'm showering. And then Wednesday, I knew they were going to come in, and I was like, hey, I'm going to stay there Tuesday night, Wednesday, and until morning, and I'll just get ready for work. After I leave, you guys can do whatever to the bathroom. And I didn't believe her. She's like, well, we'll be there at some point during Wednesday. And so I didn't believe her, so I showered the night before, got ready, and I actually slept right here. Reclined and slept, grabbed my comforter, slept. And then she knocked, and then I'm like, okay, I'm like dressed. I got basketball shorts and a shirt on. And then as soon as I go to walk, she unlocks my door. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? I told you to fucking call me. I told you. I'm like, I'm a light sleeper. Don't break into my fucking place. Just call me. And I don't know if it's a way to them to... I don't know. If they think I have like a cat I'm fucking hiding or something, a dog. I'm not. But it's like they won't listen to me.
Yeah. So I'm sure they do. I don't know your lease or whatever it is. I'm sure they have the legal right that they can walk in whatever they want. They don't need a knock.
No, it's their property. Yeah.
I understand that. But what they don't understand is that you could be a gun owner. And
yeah.
You could be in there or you could be right here. All of a sudden, your door's opening. Your gun's drawn. You're ready to go.
Exactly. That's what I thought too.
You don't want it to be that kind of situation. So,
and they told me like, hey, if you're a gun owner, you're fine. You can own a gun, whatever. But it's like, and then her excuse was, oh, we thought you weren't home. I'm like, I told you I was gonna be home, and I'm like, you guys just broke into my home, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
If someone's gonna knock. And then
they knocked, and then literally I was right here, right there.
Walked right in, so they walked in within 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Knock, wait a minute, knock, wait a minute, knock, wait a minute.
No, they knocked one
time. Give them more than enough time, right? But yeah.
I was literally right here, heard the knock, woke right up. I was literally half asleep. Go there to open the door. I hear them unlocking the door. I'm like, what are you guys doing? What the fuck are you doing? Like, this is totally an invasion of my fucking household, my property. Well, I'm renting. It's not my property, but I'm still renting. And what did you know? I told you guys I was still going to be here. It was just fucking, oh my God.
This reminds me of when the wife and I just moved into our house that we're at right now. Mm-hmm. The couple that was there before, nice older couple, very friendly. Always leave their doors unlocked, cars unlocked. It's a nice area. But if you were to go to their house, you never have to knock on a door. Open door policy, walk right in. And it must be across the board because when I was at the house, it was just me and the youngest. We were in the living room. We were playing like with Legos or something in the living room. And out of nowhere, I heard the front door open. This is before we had all the dogs and livestock and all that shit to notify me when someone comes in. But the door opens. Mm-hmm. And at this point, I'm staying up and I'm starting to walk over, and I just see someone like walking through the house, and the youngest was standing right behind me. I told him, go to your room, lock your door. And he ran to his room, locked his door, and the person like keeps on walking was like, hey, have you seen so-and-so, the previous owners? I said, no, they don't live here anymore. And he keeps walking towards me. I said, if you take another step to me, you're going to leave this house in a body bag. Because I don't know who the fuck he is.
Yeah.
And then he said, oh, no, I don't mean any trouble. I'm friends with old owners, and apparently they don't live here anymore. I was like, apparently they don't live here anymore. You are correct. Get the fuck out of my house. The next time you open up that door, you knock on the door, and I will open it for you. I lost my shit on the guy. I didn't mean to. I never had a chance to apologize. But
still,
I could have had a gun on me. I could have beat the guy's ass. I could have rained havoc, and it could have been a lot worse. But it all could have been eliminated with knocking on the fucking door.
Yeah.
Having the common courtesy of knocking on someone else's door.
Oh, I'm looking for someone. You serious? Like.
Yeah. So like even here, I would knock, and I would not come right in. I would go to someone else's house, even my parents' house. Or
I know I've walked into your house without knocking, but you were expecting me, but.
That is different. And I also have windows to see when someone pulls down the driveway.
Yeah.
There's also indicators to know that, hey, someone's here. Yes, I've already spoken with you, text and phone calls that, oh, you're about 10 minutes away, so I'm going to expect you in about 5 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's a different story.
Yes, much different story than just fucking walking in. It'd be like us walking into the neighbors, like, oh, you're home. I was just going to grab a Coke from your fridge.
Oh, yeah. I'm kind of parched. Let me grab a Coke from your fridge.
I am parched.
Dude, the craziest thing happened to my brother Rodney, who lives down the road. This guy who's not all there, he's like, I don't know what he has, but he ended up walking into his house. And then his kids, which the twins are 11 now, the youngest is 9. And they come screaming to him. He's in the man cave playing his video games. They're like, there's a man in the kitchen. And he's like, the fucking man in the kitchen. And he freaks out. Obviously, he has 3 kids, 3 girls. So his immediate reaction is, I got to get to my fucking safe and get to my gun, right? So he goes in there, and the guy's like, I guess he came from like a mental hospital or something. He's like, I used to live here or something like that. And it was like, okay, he was very cordial with him. He's like, you need to get the fuck out right now. And then the guy like put his bag, took his shoes off and everything. Like, it was weird. And he took his shoes off, whatever he did, grabbed it. He's like, can I at least grab this? He's like, I was like, no, I'm going to fucking hand it to you through the window. And after he left, my brother fucking got his fucking gun and started loading it. And he was like, I don't know what this fucking guy's going to fucking do. But yeah, it's like, you don't never know. Like, like my brother's like, I'm here to protect my family and my fucking property. Yeah, so he's like, dude, I probably could have fucking killed someone.
Yeah, it's a very scary situation to be in.
Yeah.
And not everybody approaches it, or not everybody acts upon it the same way.
Yeah.
And if somebody walks into someone else's residence unannounced, not to be expected, I believe if they walk away unscathed, they got lucky.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially, not so much here, but, you know, out where I live, kind of in the country, vast majority, they're gun owners. And the vast majority walk around with them on their hips, out in the front yard. Yeah, you're walking into someone else's house around there, you're probably not going to walk out.
Because the only thing I guess he was telling me is like, how do I get to my safe, you know, without getting to this guy? And this guy fucking stopping me from me getting to my safe because he didn't know who he was. The kids told him, and he's like, I need to get to my fucking safe and protect my family. So it was like, and then after that, he figured it out. He was like, okay, guy left. I fucking cussed his ass out. He's like, you don't fucking do that shit. I understand you used to live here, whatever. But he was like, and then he told me, he called me right after. He's like, dude, you won't believe what just happened. And it was like, and then the next day, I think I was at his place. He's like, all right, I'm buying another weapon. I'm putting it in the man cave. So if I'm in here, I know I got one close to me.
Yep.
And he's like, I'm going to put it in a safe, but he's like, I got to make sure I'm able to get that. And that's, yeah, people don't understand that shit.
You've been over to the house plenty of times.
Yeah.
What you may see as a standard object, I have placed that standard object there in a random room, in every room, for a reason. It could be used as a weapon. Now, yeah, I'm not going to say too much, but For example, I got a nice little short baseball bat in the garage. I had somebody over a couple years ago. Oh, you play, softball, t-ball? I was like, no, Plan B. It's like, what? Plan B? It's like, oh. So yeah, tell your brother, if there's other situation or something.
Yeah.
Guns can be very expensive to put one in every room.
Yeah.
But at least have a sole object or something there close enough. But it's about having that reaction time and also being trained for that kind of stuff to think about it. Like someone breaks in right now. Well, I do have this mic stack and go pretty far up someone's ass. And it this can be a club right here, right? So there's plenty of objects within a range. I'm not saying pulling some Liam Neeson shit like breaking the table and using a shard of glass across his throat or something. No, that's fucking Hollywood stuff.
Yeah.
But there's... Oh, no. It stopped.
How long did it stop ago?
Testing.
Okay.
We'll stay there. Let's go ahead and end this here pretty soon.
Yeah,
we're going on 3.5 hours.
I know. We've been talking, and then we get... I know we're like, what else do you want to say? I don't know. Let's talk about,
Happy birthday to me, and what do you think about males being in female sports? And then we got talking about walking into people's houses unannounced and mold in your bathroom, snakes in mine. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 3.5 hours goes by pretty quick.
Takes a while when we haven't seen each other in a while.
It does, yeah. It honestly does. And we're probably going to go not even a couple weeks. I'm thinking like a week and a half, maybe, and then I'm going to be right back out here.
Yeah. What is it?
So we do have...
Probably next weekend, if you guys are able.
Well, it's going to be this upcoming weekend. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so...
And that's what's going to happen is
be
that
the
he's
18th and the 19th.
At DTW on Wednesday. Come on out. I highly doubt he's going to want to come out here and stay the night and sleep on your floor again. So don't feel offended if he doesn't want to come down on the beanbag.
I'm not offended.
But we will be out more than likely that weekend or this upcoming weekend.
So we got a pre-podcast and we'll have another podcast for the
night. This is a good pre-podcast, and I think it will get released, at least everything that I can.
It's like my birthday podcast.
Yeah, Mike's birthday podcast, number 316. I should be able to do the main file on here. If our lapel mics don't work or get picked up, then that microphone is not going to work too well. I may not release it, but anyway, these should still be working and transmitting fine. I should have put the transmitter turned around just so I can still see that it is recording, but we can do up to 8 hours, so it should be fine. All right. For the very last time, is there anything else you want to talk about?
What else? There's a billion other things.
What do you think about our governor? No.
We got Northern Lights here in Michigan.
Okay, thank you. I thought you were going to bring up politics. Yes,
No.
We got Northern Lights. I'm hoping to see it.
They said
we got a little bit of sunshine coming through.
The clouds aren't really broad, but they said we should be seeing them. I guess there's like solar flares. But yeah, I left work and the security was like, "Hey, we're trying to get out. We want to see the Northern Lights." So like, "Hey, where are you driving to?" I'm like, "Holly." They're like, "Yeah, just keep a look at the sky. You'll see Northern Lights." I didn't see any, but I was like,
you're probably thinking, "Man, they just had an edible or something."
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, these guys are tripping balls in this fucking shack. And then I pulled up like my social media, and I'm like, a lot of people like around here like posted videos of it. And I'm like, that's pretty fucking cool. So hopefully, maybe we'll be able to see them tonight. I've never seen Northern Lights, but I was like, that'd be a very good birthday thing.
They are beautiful to see. I have seen them before, just like an eclipse.
Yeah.
The last eclipse. Also, one last thing I will say
You
is
burn your eyeballs.
Yeah. Yeah, I looked up at the sun as long as I could, and I tried to get off work the next day through HR, but they said no. No, I got a chance to see the eclipse again. It was not 100% coverage. A lot of people.
It was dark. The recent one?
Yeah.
So I literally went outside, and it was actually like kind of dark.
It was weird.
And everybody was outside, and I was like, I actually went out was going to go out to the store, and everybody's hanging out outside. I'm like, it's kind of weirdly dark. And then I looked up, and I'm like, it wasn't full eclipse, but it was like blocking the sun, and it was actually pretty cool to see.
I was sick So I had some type of flu or something, but like really, really fucking cold. And the wife was outside, and I went to go join her, and even like being in the beaten down sun with a sweater on, like 2 or 3 layers. No, I had 3 layers on top, 2 layers on bottom. I was still fucking cold.
Goddamn Christ. Be a man.
Be a man, die at work.
Be a man.
No.
Die at work.
So I went out there, and just the difference between of like the hot sun, no coverage, to where it was like almost fully covered. It's weird. It looked like there was a plague or something that went on outside.
Yeah, it did.
It was sunny, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
There was
that's
like,
how it was over
the
here.
The shadows were very weird. Everything just seemed really fucking off. Almost like you were in a dream. And I don't know if it was the medicine that I was on or what, but no, it was freezing with no sun being out, with there being some kind of coverage, and made me think, holy fuck. It's amazing how much we rely on the sun to always be there. Always be there that time of day, and it does differentiate a little bit with the time zones, but we're always fucking relying on it, like running water, like power, like power, electricity, same thing, internet. You know, we're always relying on this shit, and without having it or lack thereof for a short time, it's kind of weird.
Just to think, if you didn't have internet, you'd be like, oh, your house, yeah, we won't be able to get internet to your house. You're like, I'm fucking moving. It's like...
I thought about that for many of years, and
it's like we lived without internet for so long.
we have lived without internet. Our generation has lived without internet for a long period of time, so we know how it feels to not have a computer in our pocket, to not have that type of connection, to where if we wanted to know something, we would have to call a family member, and every family has a family member that knows everything about everything.
Phone a friend.
Yeah, phone a friend. Thank you, Regis. Or you would have to go to the fucking library. Or you would have to see if there's an instructional video, not online because we never had it. It would be on a fucking VHS tape that you would have to maybe get from Family Video or Blockbuster and rent it for $2 or $3 for a couple days.
Or if someone's disagreeing with you, you're like, no. Whatever, what's his name? Kevin Bacon wasn't Footloose. No, he wasn't. Yes, it is. No, he wasn't.
Fact check.
Let me fact check this. Yeah. I told you. No, that's fucking not real. No, it is real. It's IBDM or IMBD.
I would miss it. I think it would be the same feeling that when I went out up north. This is a couple years ago, and
got off the grid.
I was off the grid, yeah, because I decided to go on the jet ski and spend hours on the lake with my phone in my pocket. And I had no idea my phone was in my pocket.
Oh, and then
I was driving all the way across the lake to get fuel in the jet ski. And I'm thinking to myself, this would be a really bad time to break down. And I'm by myself. And who the hell's going to know that I'm just out here floating by myself? I was like, yeah, I probably should have brought my phone. And I reached down in my pocket and like, oh, my phone's right there. And this is after I've already been swimming for hours. Phone didn't work. But
no, wasn't water resistant.
It was not. No, it was an earlier iPhone, and no, it was not. But I didn't have my phone for a couple days. It was nice. Those first couple days, it kind of sucked because, yeah, what time is it? Okay. Phone vibrated. Okay, got an email. Oh, I got a text, whatever.
Yeah.
Those notifications, right?
Yep.
After the first couple days, I didn't have anything to do. I couldn't check my apps. I couldn't check my game. I couldn't check my voicemail, my text messages, nothing. And of course, because nowadays, if you text me, you could have the attitude of, what's up Steve's ass? What did I do to piss him off? Well, just because you
he's not answering. Yeah,
fucking douche. I'm going to go ahead and call him. Oh, he's not picking up his phone either. Fuck that guy. It's been 5 minutes and you texted me 4 times and called me 3 times. Chill the fuck out, right?
Kind of like how you were today.
Yeah.
I was like, I never got any of your calls. I just literally was on my phone and it was like voicemail from Steve. I'm like, what?
I had a plan B and a plan C. Plan B was to come up here and knock on your door.
I saw your text and then it was like voicemail right after that. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, why am I not getting any calls?
So not having internet, like if there was an EMP and all internet was out, it would fuck up a lot of shit, right? Because let's say both of our everyday lives will be jeopardized, so that would create a lot of chaos. But if we never had internet, like this kind of stuff, there will be no EGS, and EGS does weigh on my mind of, fuck, 2 days from now is Monday. So I at least need to have content for 2 out of those 3 days. I now have to edit a 4-hour podcast, which is going to take me 8 fucking hours to edit.
Probably.
So I'm going to have all of this stuff that I have to do, but if I never have internet, I won't have to worry about a competitor YouTube channel. I won't have to worry about keeping up with the Joneses. I can actually sit down and read a book. I can look forward to watching a movie because I saw a trailer at the last movie I saw, and I heard someone talk about it. I think we would be so much better off without internet. I love having internet. I love having great technology and everything that we have. But I think it's corrupted us in so many ways that a lot of people, especially the younger generation, that's going to grow up and always having a cell phone in their hand from when they were a baby, they're never going to know the solitude of, okay, we don't have internet. What are we going to do? Oh, we got a bookshelf, or we got board games, or we have a deck of cards. A fucking deck of cards. How many family households do you think now has a deck of cards versus 1980s, 1990s?
My family, we didn't play board games. We're like, we don't know what to do. All right, let's call up our friends. Hey, guys, you want to play hockey at the tennis court? All right, cool. You guys want to play basketball at the elementary school? Yeah. Hey, guys, you guys want to go outside and hit up the beach? Yeah, let's go do that. It was just all of us friends just calling each other up on landlines. It was, if they didn't answer, we're like, man, what the fuck are we going to do? Like, it was just, that's how my childhood was. Hey, hey, buddy, you want to go out and go sledding? You want to go outside? It's not the same anymore. So it was like, it's wild.
Out on the farm, there wasn't a lot to do. But if you were out on the farm and you were a worker, typically by the age of 8, at least for me, I was able to drive. So I was able to have the responsibility of taking the field truck, or the family truck that you just drive through the shit fields, down the road to the neighbors, and it could be a 2-mile drive. Never any cell phones, nothing like that. You don't know if the fucking kid went off the road, and of course it's a stick shift. When I was 11, I started shooting guns out there. What did we do for free time? Play tag, you get lost in the corn maze, you hang out with livestock.
Hang out with the livestock.
You hang out with Grandma inside because she's doing all the cooking, and you learn how to cook and prep a meal. Or you can go hang out with Grandpa, and he's out there in the barn hanging out with the neighbors, and they're bitching about who can cut their fields the straightest lines and that kind of stuff, and stuff that you would never have conversations about nowadays. But let's say, like, when we were on the farm, we were, when we came back here to Michigan, right? Go out, cut the grass, 5 acres with a push mower. What to do next? Okay, well, again, no internet. Don't have the ability for air conditioning or nothing like that. And, back then, get out of the house. Why are you in the house? You don't need to be in the house. Beautiful day outside.
Yeah, why are you in the house? It's
Exactly.
a beautiful day. I remember hearing that so many times. Why are you in the house? Guys, it's a beautiful day. Go outside.
It's 104 outside. Go outside. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
Dying from a heat stroke.
It's like nowadays I'd never hear like my brother tell his kids like, what are you doing inside? Go outside. Fucking, and like we would be far away from the house. It was like,
yeah, you're not.
Parents didn't get fucked. Like,
no, hell no.
Hey, you know what? It's natural selection. If he makes it back good,
it's a part of life, honey.
Hakuna Matata. Like,
he knows where we live when he gets hungry.
Yeah. Makes it back, he makes it back. If not, he's not my real son.
That was life.
We'll have another one.
80s and 90s, man. I don't want to say the parents didn't give a shit, but compared to now,
yeah, it was like.
I know where my wife is. I know where the stepkids are because I'm tracking their phones.
Yeah, and you can see
and
where...
they know where I'm at because they're tracking my phone.
And that's the thing. You guys have that app on your fucking phone to be like... Because I went to lunch during Easter at this fucking fancy-ass golf club. Fountains. You know where that's at, right? Over kind of by DTE on maybe.
Yeah. Actually worked security at a wedding.
Yeah, so I went to brunch there for like there, and I got there before my brother, and him and his sister-in-law, or my sister-in-law met me there, and she's like, hang on, let me look to see where they're at. She's like tracking the kids. She's like, oh, they're on like Sashmall right now. And I'm like, how the fuck?
Yep.
And she's like,
directions right to them. It shows they're about 15 minutes away. They're traveling at 57 miles an hour, so I can yell at them that they're going 2 over the speed limit because it's only 55 on that road.
Yeah.
Trust me. Oh, I know.
That was wild. But yeah, it was just,
So yeah, when I was out there cutting the grass, 5 acres, what do I do after? Typically, I would grab a rake because I would anyway have to get all the clumps and grafts and shit, because if you leave that out there, then it's going to go ahead and stain the grass and it's not going to grow right. So I would normally get everything into the center part of the yard, and I would take the grass clumps and I would make little houses and huts. And then I would grab my Hot Wheels from inside, bring them outside, and I would have cars parked in little garages. I would have like a nice little town, and there's a lot of dumb shit that you would see a kid doing that nowadays. You might question on, like, what are you doing?
What the fuck are you doing out there?
Why are you outside? Why are you not on your phone? What's wrong with you? Right?
Yeah.
But we use our imaginations a lot. Instead of using the imagination of somebody else's creativity on a YouTube video, we would actually go out there and do our own shit. And then, when I got older, more kids moved in closer. And then, you randomly meet the kids. Like if you went to the same school or rode the bus or whatever, shit, yeah, man. We start walking, we get on our bikes, we pedal 20 minutes or walk a half an hour. Parents aren't going to hear us scream. No one can know if we're going to be kidnapped or we're going to be slaughtered right out there next to the fucking lake because we're out there fishing. No one's going to know. The only
no one to know where we're at.
When you heard the dinner bell, or when it was like sundown, you knew your curfew. You would have a little. I had a calculator watch. That's how much of a nerd I was. So you can like punch in little numbers and stuff. It was a cool watch back then, but it was still digital. So I knew that, okay, it is. I have to be home at 7. It's 5 o'clock right now. It's at least going to take 45 minutes to get there. Hey guys, we got about 15 more minutes. Then we have to start walking that way or riding our bikes. Because I knew if I wasn't coming home at time, I'm not going to say I got my ass beat, because I can get people in trouble.
I got my ass beat.
But I'm going to say that you knew when it was time to learn a lesson. You knew when you fucked up, and you're going to have something done to you to make you not do that again. Which, again, punishment is much different than what it is now. It's, again, we're circling this entire podcast back around to us being older, and it is so much different.
It's my birthday. It's fine. Because I am getting older, and that's just me reflecting, just like, damn, what the fuck?
A lot of things have changed.
Like, because, you said it. We'll be literally, me and my brothers would be like fucking 8, probably 10 years old at this time. We'll be in the middle of the fucking lake. So far, because we would always go into the middle of the lake. You know how, like, I don't know, the waves would make the ice very, like, jagged. But in the middle of the lake, it's really calm. You know, you ever see, like, Tom Hanks and, Castaway. He was just trying to get over the waves. And once he got over into the middle of the ocean, it was good. He can get there. So we always went to the middle of the lake, and that's where we would make our ice rink. And be in the fucking middle of this giant lake. It was called Cass Lake. And that's where we would take the shovel, snow it all up. It would be the smoothest ice as possible. And then one time we decided to go all the way through it. My brother, it was like a sewage pipe, and it like melted all the ice, and my brother fell through. And I had to fucking rescue him. All the other friends were like in shock, my older brother Rodney, so I had to rescue him through the ice. And then we were like, all right, you gotta run, you're gonna freeze to death. It was just, parents didn't know we were in the fucking middle of the ice, fucking falling through the ice.
I was over on Buddy's house, not too far from my parents, but we were out in the front yard playing, and this was at the age of introduction of slingshots. Mm-hmm. Well, what better to do than grab random objects, which were rocks from driveways and yards and shit, and use it, and like basically playing tag with each other.
Dude, we did that shit with fucking BB guns.
One person has a slingshot or a BB gun, and then they have to tag somebody else. But I didn't have the slingshot. I was a runner, and I got tagged right on the ear, and it was a very big rock. And looking back at it now, I'm very fortunate that it didn't hit my eye, didn't hit my face, my mouth, nothing like that. But it hit my ear, and it hurt so bad. It was ringing for it felt like days, and it could have been hours. But this is when I was a kid, and it hurt so fucking bad, and it was bleeding, and we put bandages, and we put as much on it as we could. But I didn't go home. I never called my parents. I didn't know their phone number. I had no way of letting them know that I just got hurt.
Sometimes my mom couldn't afford a landline, so it's like we didn't have a phone number.
Yeah. Exactly. So what happened? I got interrogated when I came home. What happened? Who I was with? How did it happen? But that's what happened when you were kids. They weren't bad parents for not being there and helping you when you got hurt or picking you up when you fell down. You had to learn that shit on your own. They weren't there always for you. And again,
I don't know if you can see like the scar.
Yeah, you can tell where the hair's not growing in.
Yep.
Yep.
That's where I got hit with a hockey stick. And we were playing on the tennis court. And then my buddy hit me so hard and it fucking started pulling blood. And then my buddy just looked at me. He's like, we got to get you out of here. So I'm like, oh, shit. And it was like pulling blood. I got it all over me. And like I'm just holding it. I'm trying to clean it out. And I take it to my mom, and I'm like, Mom, I don't know what's going on. It's not stopping bleeding. She's like, oh, you need stitches, but I'm not going to take you to the doctor right now. So, and I was a kid. I was like, I don't want a scar on my face. I don't want a scar on my face. She's like, I'll get you butterflies.
I was getting butterflies, right?
Yeah, butterflies,
I had a couple of those on me before.
She's like, I'll just get you a butterfly. Didn't work. It was probably too late by the time I put them on after she bought them. And I was just like, I'll just live with the scar for now.
Yep. I broke my pinky in the same area on where my parents lived, but we were out playing football, out playing in the front yard. Some kid kicked it, and I caught it, and it was one of those kicks where the football is doing those things. And when I caught it, it was a full-size football. My pinky on this side, basically this tip, touched back here, snapped right here. I mean, just like fucking blown out. I finished off the play. I'm looking at my hand, and I'm like closing my fist, and this one's like still way back here. I'm like, something's fucked up, right? And walked home, and eventually found out that your finger's broke.
Your finger's broke.
Yeah. Make a fist, and the thing's like way back here, pointing at a 45-degree angle. So I'm always gonna have like the ability to pop it in and out and go in different directions.
Yeah.
But again, the parents weren't there to help me. I had to figure it out myself. I had to walk my ass back home. My friends weren't calling my parents, or their parents weren't getting in their vehicles to drive me home. You'll figure it out. He knows where he lives. All right.
I love that shit.
Let's go ahead and end it.
All right, end it.
Because we are over 3.5 hours at this point.
3.5 hours.
It's at least double the time to do the editing. But I'm not bitching about it. It was a good podcast. I appreciate you letting me coming back out here to Hollywood.
Hollywood!
I'll be back out again this upcoming weekend.
See the Hollywood sign.
So I'll see you in about 6 days.
We can visit Skid Row.
Hopefully, yeah. And then hopefully we can buy a new headset for you.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can go out and buy one with your own money. Your Tesla money.
My Tesla money.
Yeah.
My Tesla Cybertruck money.
Yeah. You saw one recently. Mm-hmm. Good? Bad?
I don't know. I liked it.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Good. You
All
liked
right.
it.
Yeah, we're going to keep on going. We're just going to keep on
go down the fucking rabbit hole. Right. Again, thank everybody for listening. I'm Steve.
I'm Mike.
Thank you guys for listening to the EGS Productions Podcast. And until next time, we'll see you later.
Peace. My ears are sweating.
My butt crack is sweating. I got a feeling I left a streak there on your couch. Your nutsack has grazed on this couch plenty of times.
Sit on my couch in my underwear, yelling at the people outside. Who are you? You aren't my neighbor.
God, this mixing board, I can't believe this thing is working.
I want to say, that thing looks small. It's like smelling for like...
The smell of the electronics, I mean, they're...
Ooh, it smells like it's been...
It smells like an electrical fire, doesn't it? I need to upgrade shit. It's only been 10 years, you know? This technology is old. What is that, a wired microphone? Oh my God.
What is that?
2003 called, they want your setup back, right?
Joe Biden's turning the frogs gay.